start with this. Rust armorer Hannah Gutierrez-Reed has been sentenced to 18 months in prison for her connection to the fatal shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins by Alec Baldwin in 2021. Gutierrez-Reed had been convicted in March of involuntary manslaughter after live rounds instead of blanks were used in Baldwin's gun during the production. Gutierrez-Reed had pled for a lesser sentence, while prosecutors claimed that she hadn't shown, quote, a genuine remorse or accepted responsibility for her actions and believed that she needed to be given the maximum sentence.
Yeah, she was actually acting defiant.
Yeah,
if you're trying
not a good idea.
Yeah, get the favor of the court, you got to act like you're, remorseful.
Yeah, Baldwin has also been charged with involuntary manslaughter in the death and is scheduled to head to trial in July. The judge, New Mexico judge Mary Marlowe Sommer, told Gutierrez-Reed during sentencing that she was responsible for the death of Hutchins. She said, "You alone turned a safe weapon into a lethal weapon. But for you, Miss Hutchins would be alive. A husband would have his partner, and a little boy would have his mother." She told Reed.
Yeah. That's it. 18 months for.
Just a colossal F up. Just absolute. Why? And we talked about this from the
countless
outset.
times.
Why would you ever have any live rounds anywhere near something like that? Just makes no sense at all.
Well, the word was they'd actually been off in a valley near the site shooting.
Target shooting. Using it.
Yeah.
Get a different gun.
Yeah.
You use a different gun. All right. Anyway, moving on. A couple of other stories. Teresa Nist has addressed her divorce from Jerry Turner. The two got married as part of the Golden Bachelor, but divorced 3 months later, of course. The couple had
I don't love you.
I don't love you. The couple had previously appeared on Good Morning America and said they realized that neither wanted to move away from the areas that they had created a family, leading them to deciding to split.
We should have audio of this and listen to this. To me, this is such a bogus claim about why they split.
Teresa and I have had a number of heart-to-heart conversations, and we've looked closely at our situation, our living situation and so forth, and we've kind of come to the conclusion mutually that it's probably time for us to dissolve our marriage.
Get a divorce.
Yes.
Yes. We've decided that basically we realized it about 2 months into this that we both had families and we had absolutely no desire to be with each other. There was no physical attraction, and I'd much rather jump in front of a freight train than stare at that haggard mug every morning.
That part was edited out of the interview.
I didn't know he sounded like that.
Yeah. We just decided. I don't want to go into specifics, but when you get south of the belt, it's like a desert down there. I actually encountered a lizard. Wow. And me, of course, with my raggedy ass nutsack. Oh, it's a disaster.
I didn't know they opened up like that. I guess you get on Good Morning America. My
taint smells like cheese, and cheese smells like the ocean at morning.
It was to me, it seems so. So the thing was, I really enjoyed the first couple of episodes because it had sort of the air of these are adults that now know what they want. So it won't have all the games. Within a couple episodes, they were doing everything that the other Bachelor shows were doing.
Well, they kind of, they get prompted to do that.
They sure do. Yeah.
But, But listen, they got a hit on their hands. Or at least we'll see if the next if the next few seasons are as fruitful, then they'll keep doing it. They'll keep cranking it out.
I wonder how old they're going to go.
Teresa has taken to Instagram to thank everyone for their support. She wrote, "To everyone who has expressed love, support, and kindness to me, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You are all wonderful human beings."
And she's wonderful, and I just want people to know that we will carry on this relationship for another 7 seconds.
She said, "It means the world to me that you took the time to reach out to me, whether in person, on the phone, or text, or by direct message."
She seems very nice. I know there are things that came out after the whole thing that he was a a restaurateur, and apparently he was like the assistant manager at a Wendy's or something something not as
it was a burger joint.
Yeah.
So this won't be the last time you see the couple, by the way. They recorded an episode of Celebrity Family Feud while they were still together.
There we go.
And it's still going to air. And they apparently just split 1 week after filming. So we'll see how that episode plays out. This is interesting. Megan Fox is responding to the comparison and the dragging that ensued after Love is Blind star Chelsea Blackwell made headlines earlier this year for saying that she had been compared to Megan Fox. Although she is not a fan of the Netflix series herself, it didn't take long for Fox to learn about the drama. She said, I've never had more people text me about something. She said, because I don't really watch TV very much. She said, but I've had a lot of people text me and stop me. Even other celebrities at Oscar parties were like, do you watch Love is Blind? And I was like, no, but I know what you're talking about. So the drama, I guess it's my wife watches it. I guess it's an extremely popular show.
It has to be because I know so many people are into it. I don't watch it. I've seen a little bit of it to know what goes on.
It's on in our house too, Preston, and I've been recruited to watch it alongside.
Successfully?
Nope.
Okay.
And I'm like, look, I'm sure that it's fun, and maybe that would be something we could bond over.
Right.
Who knows?
So the drama started, as you well know, Nick, when, while still in the famous Love is Blind pods, Blackwell told then love interest Jimmy Presnell that she had been told she looked like Megan Fox in the past. Even though Blackwell said that she didn't see the comparison herself and told him, who she got engaged to before ultimately splitting, to not get too excited by the information. He still said that she had lied to him about her appearance. So these people don't see each other in these pods.
Love is blind.
And so they agree to get married before they ever see each other.
Right.
And he contended
that's the hook of the whole thing. And she had said at some point, well, people tell me that I look like Megan Fox. I've heard that in the past. She said she didn't believe it, but she just wanted to let him know. So he immediately, ding.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's got a...
And then he said, you look more like Jeff Foxworthy.
No.
Actually, she looks like Katy Perry a little bit.
She's an attractive woman, for
With
sure.
the Jay Leno chin.
Yeah.
Even though Blackwell said she didn't see the comparison herself. I already said that part. And after naming Fox as a lookalike and all of the messiness that followed, Blackwell was met with lots of negative attention online, which Megan Fox also acknowledged in her interview with E! News. She said, I didn't watch it, but I think in general, no one deserves to get bullied, and I don't think she deserved that. I think people went way too hard.
And I think everyone accepts the fact that Megan Fox doesn't look like Megan Fox.
Yeah, right. I actually saw a better comparison of the pictures. It was not so new Megan Fox. It was a little less.
A little bit older? Yeah, okay.
As for the actual comparison, Fox said she actually sees it. She said 100,000%. People have told her you kind of look like Megan Fox. So I believe she's telling the truth, and I hope she still has that sparkle in her eye.
Sparkle.
She said, I hope that the world didn't steal it from her. Mine died long ago from being bullied for 20 years. So I hope that didn't happen to her. Best wishes and blessings.
So she's sticking up for her.
Following the backlash for saying that she's been compared to Fox, Blackwell admitted on social media that people were so mean. The reality star even said that she felt the need to contact Fox herself over the comments, telling Entertainment Tonight that she reached out to say, I'm so sorry I did this to you.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, so I guess
Who are you?
I guess they've kind of made a connection. So, sorry, Justin Bieber, but there's a new favorite Canadian in town. According to a study conducted by Canada Casino, the world's most popular Canadian celebrity is no longer the Yummy singer, but instead Ryan Reynolds.
Of course.
Who is from Vancouver. The 47-year-old actor was even awarded the Order of British Columbia by his home province in 2023, a civilian honor of merit, recognizing one who has, quote, served with the greatest distinction and excelled in field of endeavor, benefiting the people of British Columbia and beyond.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So the Deadpool star received more than 4 million global monthly Google searches, and his Wikipedia page was viewed over 62 million times. Bieber did, however, receive about 2 million more monthly Google searches than Reynolds, but around 9 million fewer Wikipedia page views.
So what's Bieber's level of heat at this point, right? I know he had some medical things he was dealing with, and he's kind of been out of the public eye. There was talks during the Super Bowl that he might jump up with Usher
He
during
was
the
at
halftime
Coachella,
show.
was he not? Did he popped up on stage with somebody at
Coachella?
Coachella, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
He was
go ahead.
I'm sorry. He was at the NHL All-Star game, and he was like out on the ice, and because he's Canadian, a lot of the players had fun with him, and it seemed, Steve, anyway, just from like watching the game or whatever, he seemed like he was having a good time
All right.
and kind of in a decent place.
I got no problem with the guy.
Little bit of good news for the Biebs. He is still the most popular celebrity in Ontario.
There you go.
So he's got that going for him.
He'll take his
Here are the 10 most
his wins.
Here are the 10 most popular Canadians in 2024.
All right.
Ryan Reynolds and Justin Bieber. Then Bill Spaceman Lee.
Who?
I don't know. Is he an astronaut? Is he the guy
I hope so.
The Canadian astronaut that takes all the pictures from
No, that's Chris Hadfield.
Okay. Then you have Ryan Gosling, The
Yes.
Weeknd, Jim Carrey, Drake, Sunny Leone. That's a porn star. right?
Yes, we've had her in the studio.
She's Canadian?
I guess so. Rachel McAdams and Justin Trudeau.
Okay.
So they round out the top 10. So those are, I did not know that Rachel McAdams was Canadian.
So
she's one of the most popular.
Spaceman Lee is a pitcher?
I guess so. But it says here on Wiki that he was born in Burbank, California.
That's how bad that list is.
Yeah,
Half
Bill-
the people are from Burbank.
Spaceman Lee. I don't know what the story is with that.
You're the most famous Canadian from Burbank.
Right?
Does he live in Canada now?
Maybe. I don't know. Well, he played for the Expos, so I guess that has
Quite an honor to be the most famous Canadian who was born in Burbank.
That has to be it, Nick.
I go back and forth with my Canadian Ryans because Ryan Gosling right now is he's at the top of the heap for me. His appearance on SNL this week was so
He's great.
good.
He's
Not
great.
even in the top 10 here.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling is in the top 10.
Yeah, you mentioned him.
Yeah, you think you said he was number
Oh,
3?
I'm sorry. I just glanced right over.
You're
that.
thinking
How
of
about
Megan
that?
Fox.
That's what I was thinking of. All right. Prince Harry is headed back to the UK in a couple of weeks, leading people to wonder whether he'll finally reunite with his brother Prince William, since they haven't spoken in over a year.
I think it would be nice in light of the fact that their dad is battling cancer.
So Harry is returning for a special service for the 10th anniversary of Invictus Games, which he founded in 2014. Scheduled to speak at the event at St. Paul's Cathedral on May 8th.
And he's also hosting British Love is Blind.
The Duke of Sussex received bad news yesterday when it was announced that he lost an initial bid to appeal against a high court ruling related to his personal security when in the UK. This comes after he lost a legal challenge in February about the level of security he'll have during visits to the UK now that he's not a working royal.
What?
Yeah.
This is totally bogus.
According to an insider, everyone wants to know whether Harry will see his father, King Charles, of course, who is battling cancer, or Kate Middleton, who is fighting the disease. The Duke flew to visit his father when news broke of his illness in February, but reportedly only spent about 40 minutes with him or so.
I think he and his brother need to get away from the hubbub.
Yeah, just
go
the two of
out
them.
to some pub someplace.
Yeah.
Or go play laser tag.
Yeah.
Do something.
Yeah.
And dispense with the photogs and all the pomp.
Maybe an escape room.
Maybe
Yeah.
an escape room.
Hey, oh my
Yeah.
God, Bates has both of those
Yes.
that are mobile.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they go to
flying to
England.
Philadelphia.
Yeah. Axe throwing.
They're
There's
going to axe throwing in the Bates Motel. I happen to know Randy Bates personally.
a lot of great things they could do. Let's stay in England for a moment. Squatters have been in the news more these days, but it's not just an issue in the States.
I saw this. This is crazy.
Celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay is having to deal with squatters at one of his properties in the UK. Ramsay's York and Albany pub in central London has been occupied by at least 6 people who allegedly boarded the windows.
And I think they're starting another business inside.
Oh, I don't know about that. Maybe. The building where York and Albany was located and rented by Ramsay was listed on the market for $16 million in December. In a statement to People magazine, the Metropolitan Police said that they were made aware of the squatters at a disused property April 10th. As the situation is being dealt with legally, Ramsay's reps have had no comment. So I don't know. They're trying to run the restaurant?
Squatters are illegal in a residence, but there is actually no law against them in
Against a business?
A business, which is why they can't.
Is that here or there?
Over there.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, which is why they can't kick them out. And they're doing something art related in there. So it's not just, I don't think it's just homeless people. I think that
They're squatting artists?
they're actually
Squartists?
doing something in there, and they're basically like, no, we're not leaving. Kick us out if you want. But Ramsey has not wanted to be involved with this location since like 2015, and he's been trying to get out,
This should be his
legally
new-
get out of it, but he can't.
It should be Squatter Kitchen Makeover.
That's a good idea.
Right?
There's an angle
Yeah,
here.
there's an angle
Man,
here.
use it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
got to use the tools available to a squatter.
Logan Paul has announced he and his wife, or I'm sorry, he and his fiance, Nina Agdal, are having a baby. To have been engaged since last July. Paul posted a picture of the couple kissing while he holds a series of sonograms captioning the post, "Another Paul coming this fall." So he's got a baby on the way. All right, I found this quite interesting in an interview talking about the upcoming Deadpool movie. Director Sean Levy cautions people against mislabeling it as Deadpool 3. He said, Deadpool and Wolverine is very much a two-hander character adventure, and he stressed that the film very much, quote, works as a standalone entry into the MCU. Levy also says that there is not any copycatting from the first two movies, and fans are right to be expecting plenty of cameos.
And it is a bridge movie.
So that's good to hear that he says there's not any copycatting, which means they're not going to do the same gag over
Austin
and over.
Powers stuff.
Austin Powers style, and they're going to go with fresh material. And but that's cool. Yeah, and a bridge movie into more of
combining both
the X-Men and the regular
Avengers.
MCU, the Avengers. Yeah,
exactly. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am too, Steve. And I read, even as they were going into production, that Kevin Feige, Patrick Stewart, and Hugh Jackman were all consulted to make sure that they honored Wolverine's legacy at the end of Logan properly. So they don't tamper with the things that happen even to Wolverine in prior movies.
Wow.
Yeah, because this is going to be a multiverse.
It is.
Wolverine.
They're going into the Loki world of the time variant authority and all that kind of stuff.
They're going to have to because of the way Logan ended.
That's exactly right.
Interesting.
But they did it in a way that made Hugh Jackman was okay with it, because Hugh Jackman obviously is incredibly important, and he didn't want to dishonor what had happened to Wolverine earlier.
Yeah, he's real protective of that.
That's
character.
right. Yeah.
If you stop and think about it, and they can do this, they can combine. They can get a little bit more brutal. Apparently, Disney has finally wised up and said, "Do what you're going to do."
Right.
Yeah. Go bloody, curse.
bloody.
Do what you need to do.
Yep.
Because both those movies, both Deadpool and Deadpool 1, were both rated R and were huge box office hits.
Yep, agreed. So I'm excited. Very. That's the next one that I'm actually
It's the only one this year.
excited for.
Yeah.
So the next Sonic the Hedgehog movie has found the voice for the character Shadow, and it is Keanu Reeves.
I thought it was going to be Nell.
No, not Nell. Keanu Reeves. They could probably have scenes together easily. Wow. What'd you say?
I don't understand a word you're saying. What is Sidle of Kong?
The John Wick actor joins a cast that...
I don't get it. What are you saying? I don't know. What?
The John Wick actor joins a cast that includes Ben Schwartz as Sonic.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm Sidle and Kong.
And Idris Elba as Knuckles, as well as James Marsden as Sonic's friend, and Jim Carrey as the evil Dr. Robotnik. Shadow is a creation of Professor Robotnik and the grandfather, who's the grandfather of Carrey's character in the video games. In the original Sonic video game, Shadow starts off as a bad guy, but eventually joins up with the good guys.
So I resisted these movies, and then I watched, I guess the most recent one. Jim Carrey just really kills it in the role. He's awesome.
I didn't see it, but it did really well.
Did really well.
It was
Yeah.
received really well.
I mean, I love the games. I played them all the time. I had a lot of fun with them. But he does a really fun turn.
Man, we used to play Sonic non-stop.
One of those games you could just sit down.
Yeah.
I love RPGs, and I love shooters, and I love all of that stuff. But Sonic was one of those anytime.
Yeah. Especially when he would do the super fast.
Yes.
And do all the loops. That was so cool.
Did you play Sonic? Kathy?
That was one that I played.
That was one you played, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so they were responsible for one of the most profitable movies ever made, but the team behind the original Blair Witch Project has gotten no love from those who have who have carried on the franchise. According to Ben Rock, production designer for the smash 1999 horror film, no one has talked to him or anyone else from the OG crew.
Wow.
Not when the sequel was made in 2000, not when the third movie was made in 2016, and now with news that the reboot is on the way, Rock says that neither he nor co-directors Daniel Merrick and Eduardo Sanchez have been in contact with anyone involved with the upcoming film.
I don't think they were even part of the sequel, the book of.
Yeah, he said in 2000 and 2016 they weren't involved at all. And he said, it's bittersweet, honestly. I do think that what has happened twice now was that the original creators were overlooked and other people were brought in, all of whom were good, but neither one of the sequels connected with the audiences in the way they wanted it to connect. And so it might be at least worth talking to some of the original creators, Wouldn't hurt, I would think.
They got all around it. I think also it was also of a time because it was the first movie to really have a viral campaign to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember we were on there going, what is this? This website seems to suggest
It was intriguing.
yeah,
for
this
sure.
is all real. Yeah.
Yep. All right, and then one last story. Suits is returning to TV following its streaming success. This fall, all 9 seasons of the legal drama will be premiering on My Network TV, which I don't know offhand. The show originally aired for 9 seasons on USA Network. That was from 2011 to 2019. It focuses around Mike Ross, who never went to law school, but doesn't let that stop him from using his incredible memory to make a career as an attorney. All 134 of the original episodes will be available on My Network TV. Of course, Netflix had added Suits in June of 2023. You started watching it, right, Case?
I did.
Yeah.
I tapped out, but not for good. It's just other things are on.
It was a huge hit. It broke the record for the most viewing time in a single week for a library series several times. Plus, it was on Netflix's top 10 chart for 13 consecutive weeks. After that streaming success, a new spin-off series, Suits LA.
Suits LA
is in the works, with shooting starting this month and an expected premiere in late 2024 or early 2025.
I would suggest perhaps a more frivolous, fun look at the world of law, jumpsuits.
Jumpsuits.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That could be fun, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's do the clips now. The series Quiet on Set is sparking a call for industry-wide reform in kids' television. Here, producer, director Mary Robinson talks about the inspiring reactions that they are receiving from the series.
We've seen a lot of positivity in the responses. We've seen a lot of our contributors met with generosity and compassion by those who are viewing. Thank you to everyone who is bringing their big feelings to their responses and, creating an environment in which other survivors hopefully feel comfortable sharing their stories as well.
I don't give a
Quiet on Set is streaming on Max. I'm curious how, I have no idea if archive-wise, how much of that older stuff is available for viewing, and if so, how this would affect that, like if they would sweep all that stuff out of there. I have no idea.
In other words, will kids go back, or will you nostalgically go back and look at Nickelodeon stuff? I don't really see that happening in a lot.
Me either.
I watched the 5th episode that they finally aired, and so I think if you're a fan of that stuff at the time, and those were formative shows, I think that you can still watch them. I just think, there's a different light to some of it that, that's going on, but there you go,
Next clip. Abigail focuses on a group of criminals who kidnap the daughter of a powerful underworld figure who realizes that they are trapped in an isolated mansion with no ordinary little girl. In this clip, directors Matt Bettinelli, Olpin, and Tyler Gillette talk about their unique filming process.
The way that we've always approached our stuff was find a location, then adapt the story to the location. And with this, we found this house, and it just inspired the movie in so many ways. Where you're like, okay, well, this can happen here. Oh, and then that allows us to do X, Y, and Z, and X, Y, and Z allows us to do this. I mean, up until we were almost done shooting, we were still finding new little nooks and crannies we could,
what if we did this here? Let's go do that here instead.
There we go.
What the Abigail hits theaters this Friday.
I want to see this. It's getting very good ratings. The thing is, they give away in the trailer what the thing is about the girl.
What is it?
And she's a vampire.
Oh.
So they've actually trapped these people in the house so she can feed.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me of there's a Stephen King story called Popsy that's kind of like that. Interesting. All right, and that's the entertainment report. Hey, it's Tattoo Tuesday. You want to win a Preston and Steve Show themed tattoo? Text word tattoo to 39333, and you just might win from Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. You want to check out their handiwork? Swing by 1729 South Street in Philly or go to floatingworldtattoos.com. You can search for them on Instagram as well, but text that over. And we're less than an hour away. Your chance to win $1,000. That is with MMR's Good Money It. So do not miss your chance at winning that cash this morning. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. So stay with us, please.
Traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
Got a text from a gal named Heather who says, good morning. It's streaming you guys while heading to Charlotte to see Barbecue Band, Nothing More.
Oh, wow.
Driving a long way to go see that band.
I'm a big fan there.
That's really cool. And then she wrote, the cat that broke my tendon. We're coming up from Stafford, Virginia. I'm not sure what that means, but thank you for sharing.
I don't know that.
Appreciate that. Nothing More is going to be joined by the Offspring Hailstorm, the Warning, during the main portion of the day. And, of course, there's a general admission portion, which is POD, Silvertide, Sleep Theory, and local shots artist Jersey Calling. So those tickets are available now, and the early bird lawn tickets are $25 plus fees while supplies last. WMMR.com to get all of that information. Interesting article that Steve had sent over to me this morning, and it was, where was it from? I forgot.
I believe it's from Mental Floss.
Mental Floss.
Yeah.
Great website.
It is. Terrific site. Just for fun, just to putter around on. Always great article.
Kill some time,
Yeah.
interesting quizzes and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And there is an article that talks about words you have probably been mispronouncing, common words that you've probably
and
been.
some are less common than others, but there are a couple of really common ones there that I often I hear people say, how do you say that?
Yeah, and there are a couple looking on here that I'm not really sure. So there's a list of 10 of them, and I thought what might be kind of interesting is maybe I will spell out the word, have you guys write it down.
Okay.
And then tell me how you pronounce it. Now, Steve is probably going to get them all correct.
Well, and I'll have to recuse myself because I looked through the list. So,
All right, so you two don't do it.
I see the words here, but I have not read the portions that explain
Okay, all
the
right.
pronunciations.
All right. Yeah.
So I can play along
All right.
as well. So the first word on this list, and I don't know if these are in any particular order or anything like that, but SEUSS. And Nick will probably do pretty damn good on this, too. He knows words.
He knows words.
Say it again, please.
SEUSS.
Oh, this one over here is ready for the spelling bee.
Like Seuss?
Please repeat. Use it in a sentence.
Yes. Is that what part of speech is that from?
Could you use that in a sentence?
Country of origin, please.
How would you pronounce that word, Nick?
Sois.
Sois.
I was going to say Seuss.
All right. Casey?
I say Seuss like Dr. Seuss.
I'm thinking it's sus. I would say Seuss at reading it, but I think it's sus because it is on this list. So it says here, according to the article, pen names don't always make things easier. Theodore Geisel's college buddy, Alexander Lang, made a rhyme to teach you the right way to pronounce Dr. Seuss's name. You're wrong as the deuce, and you shouldn't rejoice if you're calling him Seuss. He pronounces it Sois.
Yes.
So that's it. So Nick got it right.
Yeah.
But that's how he pronounces
That's how he
his
pronounces
name.
his
That's
name.
how Dr. Seuss pronounces his
own
name.
name.
Dr.
Yeah.
Sois.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
right. Yeah.
Ah,
Why would he let us go on pronouncing
a
his name
bitch.
like that?
because they got your money. And well, what does that word mean, Steve?
I'm not familiar with Sois that way. His real name is Theodore Geisel, right?
Yeah, Geisel, I guess, or I don't know. But
Let's figure out how to pronounce that name.
so that I thought this was a word, not a name. I thought that this was going to be. Oh, okay. So it is his. It's about him. Okay,
Yeah.
Sois.
Noise.
That's noise. Sois.
Think noise and
All right,
sois.
Here's the next word. KIBOSH.
Oh, okay.
Right. And how would you pronounce that, Casey?
Well, I mean, I know how I pronounce it, but
Yeah,
I think
that's-
it's pronounced kibosh.
you think it's kibosh? How would you say it?
kibosh?
Kibosh. I would say kibosh.
Kibosh.
Same.
All right. So it says, let's put the kibosh, which is pronounced kibosh or kibosh, on saying this word kibosh or
Kibosh.
kibosh or kibosh. Kibosh.
It's kibosh.
What the hell?
It's kibosh.
Yeah.
So the correct way of saying it is the way that we said it?
Kibosh.
It's kibosh.
We need
Yeah.
audio.
Yeah, we need like a Merriam-Webster's
Yeah.
audio attached
See, I
to
didn't
it.
read this ahead of time because I wanted to be a part of it.
Right. So it says,
damn it.
on saying the word kibosh or kibosh, they're stressing the Y, which
So
should be
kibosh?
pronounced kibosh.
Bosh.
Kibosh. So
yeah, but
we
then
were
the
right.
second set here, it says kibosh or kibosh. See that, Steve?
Yep, I do.
So what's the clear answer here?
I'm saying kibosh.
We don't know. Do you want me to pull up the dictionary and see?
It
how
says it should be pronounced kibosh or kibosh.
Well, that gives
That's
you-
what it says. Either
All right,
one. It's
yeah.
it's
So
not the
we're all
inflection. It should be pronounced.
There we
I'm
go.
saying this
Can I
one.
plug my computer in or no?
When I say, I
have
always
it.
say, let's put the kibosh on that. That's how I always say it.
Yeah, me too.
Kibosh.
I know.
I never say kibosh.
But I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
I'm trying to discern what it says here is the proper word to say it. There's a proper way to say it.
Kibosh.
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 Okay, that's what I think too.
Well, there was two there.
Okay,
Kibosh.
And then,
Kibosh.
kibosh. So both are acceptable.
Yeah.
But what it says here is you shouldn't say kibosh.
Right.
Ka or ki.
Right.
You shouldn't say kibosh.
Kibosh.
When
It's
you think of kibosh, I think of
ki.
kibitz.
Kibosh.
Right.
All right, next word.
all right.
Okay.
COMP
C-O-M-P.
TROLLER.
Oh.
Now, I've always said this comptroller.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right. How about you, Kathy?
Yeah.
All right. It says this word sounds just like controller. If you're tempted to pronounce that silent MP, please control yourself.
So it's just controller?
I didn't know that.
I always
it's
thought, I
comptroller.
always said comptroller.
Yeah.
I always believing that was the case, but
Well-
apparently it's controller.
You have to
Sure.
pronounce. No, you have to pronounce that M as an M, not an N.
Comptroller.
Controller.
Yeah, comptroller.
Gotcha.
Comptroller.
Right. That's the one difference. But I always say comptroller,
It says the word sounds just like controller.
but it's
But with
comptroller.
an M.
Controller. Well, it doesn't say that on here. I'm just reading what it says here.
Whoa, dude, Casey pointed it out. Don't
I
look at
know,
me.
but
Kathy,
why
call it
can't
up.
he-
Yell at Kathy.
Call up your
if you're
announcer.
tempted to pronounce that silent MP, please control yourselves.
All right. You want to hear what the dictionary has to say about it?
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Controller.
Controller.
Comptroller.
Controller.
I guess either one is acceptable.
Play it again.
Hold on.
Controller.
It sounds like controller.
Comptroller.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, so I'm
which
looking
one
at,
is it?
What is the purpose?
I'm looking at dictionary.com and it's saying that you can pronounce it both ways.
Then don't put it on this goddamn list.
Don't put it on the
then
list if we're saying
I
it right.
call foul.
Wow.
You
Anyway.
son of a bitch.
Wait, lists really shouldn't make us angry.
But they do.
Why not?
What does a controller do? What is their job? Does anybody know? I see it all the
It
time.
is a civil job that involves magic.
Yeah. Right.
They are, for lack of a better explanation, they are the first line of defense against trolls and orcs.
Okay. All right. Now it makes sense. I've never known. I've always
supervise
seen
them.
it, and it's an elected
Yeah, it's like
position.
accounting, financial reporting.
Oh, well, that sounds like fun.
It's boring as hell.
All right. Here's our next one.
So boring they can't even say their own job.
All right. CELTIC. These are common words that are mispronounced regularly.
Now we're getting
Celtic.
to it.
If you're referring to the basketball team from Boston, I'm going to say the Celtics. But if you're referring to somebody from the Emerald Isle,
Yeah.
I'm going to say Celtic.
I would say Celtic. Casey?
Yeah. I'm going to say both.
You're getting.
Because it's both.
Yeah, nobody in Boston calls them the Celtics.
So,
an initial. Yes.
so, but they but continue reading because it's going to be another one where they make that delineation.
Okay. An initial hard K sound is the standard these days for the opening C of Celtic, according to Merriam-Webster, but the S version, Celtic, technically came first. If you're talking about the Boston Celtics, though, stick with Celtic. It
So
says.
they're saying if you're talking about how the word, the origin of the word from the motherland, it would have been Celtic.
Yeah.
But I know everyone would say a Celtic cross, a Celtic dance,
Yeah.
a Celtic Christmas.
a Celtic Christmas.
Yes.
Absolutely,
The
on Hallmark
Celtics.
Channel. The Celtics.
All right. Next one is the word CACHE.
Okay.
Can you wrap your mind around that?
I would say cash.
Cachet.
No, cash is what I would say, but is it cachet? Now
I don't
you
know.
have us
We're
thinking.
going to find out. I haven't
I
read
think
it yet.
doesn't it depend on the context? Like, aren't they two different things?
What's your initial reaction?
Cachet.
Cache. All right. So it says maybe because it's one letter short of Cachet, C-H-E-T. C-A-C-H-E-T.
I got that wrong.
Maybe it's just more fun to mispronounce. Whatever the case, cash should be said like C-A-S-H.
Gotcha.
The E,
Cash.
the cash is silent.
Okay.
Cash.
Cachet has a T on the end of it.
Yep. All
What
right.
is the perfume? Is there a perfume named Cachet?
Cachet.
Cachet.
Yeah.
From the makers of high karate.
We know there's one called Swunt.
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 Swant. For that area you never clean. Swant. That's why the cats follow you around. Swant.
Cachet, the perfume or cologne spray, is C-A-C-H-E-T.
All right.
Cachet.
What was Alan Cummings? Didn't he have a
Coming. Exclamation point.
Which is a great name for a fragrance. I love it. All right, spell this one out. And this one I'll try, but I never see this word. CHICANERY.
Okay.
I mean, it looks like chicanery to me.
Chicanery is what I would say.
Chicanery?
Yeah.
Kathy?
Chicanery.
Okay. Here is the answer. The word meaning deception by trickery is aptly tricky to pronounce. The CH is pronounced SH.
Chicanery. What level of chicanery is this?
As in Chicago. The French pronounce the word chicanery, but Americans tend to pronounce...
Who's the word now, dog?
Pronounce it
Chicago!
chicanery.
Is it cash or cachet?
By the way,
dog.
speaking of, I was thinking about Sean Connery on the way into work this morning. Over the past 3 days, I have bit my lip, I don't know how many times, while eating.
Yep.
And I realized while I was having my morning banana this morning...
Were you Connery eating?
Is I have to eat like Sean Connery.
Oh my God.
To keep from biting my lower lip. So I was like, literally, I was...
Oh.
Awesome.
Kathy's ear.
Cool.
I'll give them
Yeah.
1 chance in 3.
I have to say, this is delicious kebab.
Yes. So I was literally, Casey...
Oh. You missed a great opportunity to just sit right next to Kathy and do that.
I saw a meme.
This banana is delicious.
A meme yesterday that said, if you're thinking about getting married, sit next to the person and listen to them chew. If you can handle that for the rest of your life, go ahead.
There you go.
Probably a good
That is brilliant advice.
Welcome to Mosh.
Hang on a second. Is that why your husband has switched completely to like vegan? Like, does he just eat nothing but soft foods
No,
right
but
now?
I was sitting next to Jace yesterday, and he turned to me and he was like, "If you're gonna help me, can you stop chewing while you're standing over me?" I was like, "Oh,
Wow,
it's
man.
my-
You have Frankenstein's monster has come
my
home.
kid."
High five that kid. High five him.
All right. Here's the next one. B-A-N-A-L.
Okay.
B-A-N-A-L.
I have to say, when I read through this, I was like, I'm pronouncing most of the words correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I would think canal, banal.
Banal is what I say. Yeah.
I would say banal.
Yeah, I would say banal.
Banal is a sex act, and banal is where you take your boat.
According to Merriam-Webster, there's more than one way to pronounce this word. The most commonly used are banal, banal, and banal.
And Celtic.
So those 3 are acceptable.
Here we have the dictionary.
Here we go.
Banal.
Banal. Banal.
Yeah, all 3 of them.
All 3 contain.
right.
How
All right,
about
seven.
that?
Hey,
So
good
you
job, guys.
don't beat yourself up if you thought you were mispronouncing banal. I always say banal because that's the way that the effete, the elite, banal. How banal?
But banal is accepted. And
Yeah,
banal.
you better believe it.
Banal is as well, like canal. What does the word mean? Does it mean like boring?
Trite.
Trite.
Yeah.
What does trite mean?
Commonplace.
Thank you. Dumb it down even more, Steve. All right, next word is AFFLUENT. By the way, these are common words that are mispronounced.
I mispronounce it all the
Regularly.
time, but I think I know the correct pronunciation. I think it's supposed to be affluent, but I say affluent.
It
Affluent.
depends on what words are surrounding it.
Yeah,
I
it's
think,
kind of
on
like
occasion.
Caribbean.
Do you want to
and
know
Caribbean.
something though? And it's an interesting thing. For example, the pronunciations that become most prominent, even if they may initially be the incorrect way to say something, will eventually be accommodated as the way to say it. And so it has happened more often than not that the like Merriam-Webster or the actual official pronunciation bends to the will of the people.
Yeah. But it's like words like, or terms like cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
That's how I say that. But I say something is cerebral.
Yes.
In a different, context.
Oh, is this? I
It's
say
the same word.
I say cerebral palsy. Is it not that?
I think they're both correct.
You also say
Yeah.
Reese's.
Reese's.
Yeah.
That's wrong. But I grew up saying Reese's too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reese's palsy.
I'll say something is cerebral, but I'll say, this person has cerebral palsy. So some things they can, go both ways.
Do you say dickhead or dickhead?
Dickhead.
Yeah.
Dickhead.
Jackass.
Affluent.
Oh, I was going to ask how you guys pronounce that.
Oh, I thought we already went through this.
Did we?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Go
anyhow, there you go. Affluent.
Affluent.
It says if pronouncing it affluent is wrong, some people don't want to be right. The stress on this word is supposed to be in the first syllable, affluent. But stressing the second syllable became so mainstream that dictionaries eventually validated the pronunciation.
There we go.
I've never heard affluent before.
No.
I just said it.
I thought you said affluent or
Affluent.
And
I thought I was completely wrong. I thought it was affluent was the correct pronunciation, and I was saying it wrong. But it turns out I'm saying it right, and affluent is the wrong way of saying it.
So is it Affleck or Affleck?
Well, it depends on if it's
apologize to Jennifer Gardner
Hang on.
and her pool boy, Ben Affleck.
It's Affleck.
Affleck.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it the
Affleck is
the
how he
actor
says
or
it.
the insurance agency?
That's Affleck.
That's Affleck.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
How come they haven't hired Affleck?
All right. You know what?
You know?
It's a given.
Yeah.
Sitting right there.
Sitting there.
All right. How about this?
Do you have good insurance? You will.
That's a great campaign.
It is.
That
Do you
whole.
bleed? Then you need insurance. Tell me, do you bleed? Do you bleed often? Then you probably need good insurance.
That works out
It
perfectly.
works out perfectly. Do we have to do everything?
Would it be Affleck for Affleck?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, how about this one? BOAT SWAIN.
It's the only part that I ever played in a Shakespearean play was this.
Ooh.
And so give your
All right.
pronunciation.
Oh, I probably pronounce it wrong, but boatswain.
I would probably
I would
say
say
it
it.
because coxswain is spelled similarly, right?
Yes.
With the SWAIN.
Correct.
So I'm going to say boatswain.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not because coxswain in rowing
Yeah, you
is the
drop,
person that sits in the boat and gives the commands.
but it's funny because on coxswain you drop the W, but on boatswain you used the W.
You do?
No, you did.
Oh,
Preston did.
boatswain then.
Who's Preston?
Preston's that guy.
Oh,
He's over there.
All right. How would you pronounce it?
I would say boatswain with a W. But
Boatswain.
Yeah.
Kathy?
Boatswain.
Boatswain. All right. So it says here.
say it, but without the swain, Kathy.
Boat.
And say the other word without the swain.
Swain.
It says, okay, so maybe this word, which Merriam-Webster defines as a petty officer on a merchant ship having charge of hull maintenance and related work, is not that commonly used unless you're a fan of Below Deck. But now that you know it's pronounced bosun.
Bosun.
They dropped the T.
And
Get out.
I have been way off.
They
You
dropped
might
the
find
T
more
and the
reasons.
W.
Do you know what
Yeah.
though? I hear bosun all the time,
Come on.
and I always would. I thought there were two separate things: a boatswain, but it's bosun.
Yeah.
that
Oh, my
makes
God.
sense now, yeah. Because my line in that play was, I'm the bosun with the motion. And
That's Shakespeare?
Yeah, it was
Wow.
Shakespeare.
Wow.
Thou art bosun with the motion was my line.
So you played a bosun in
Yeah.
what play was it?
I'm pretty sure it was The Tempest. It could have been Midsummer Night's Dream. I don't remember. I was in
Which
college.
one is
was
this?
doing
Am
a
I
lot.
Romeo? No.
I was pretty
This is
high at the time,
Hamlet.
in fairness.
Alas, Michael York. I knew him well.
Do you remember your line?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I
I'll get a
remember
rope.
in the very beginning of the play, our ship was crashing. And so we were all up in the Cat's Walk for that part
Cat's
of the
Walk.
play. Cat's Walk. And then I wasn't in the play again until the very last scene.
So your
And that
first
was it.
line is
Ah!
All right, I only have one more word on this list, and it is spelled Niche.
Let's see how good you guys are.
Yeah.
I would say niche.
Yeah, I would too.
Yep.
Okay.
Niche.
Yep. Casey?
Niche.
When this word was borrowed from French in the 17th century, it was quickly anglicized to rhyme with itch. But in the 20th century, more people embraced a true French pronunciation and decided to pronounce it niche. It says these days both are acceptable.
So when I first heard that word, I heard it as niche. And then everybody says niche that I know.
Yeah.
The same people who say banal.
Niche. Niche.
Bitch. Beesh.
Those are bitch.
Bitch.
Beesh. Beck. I said beesh. I say beesh.
Bitch. Beesh.
I said, bitch. I says,
Casey, we didn't play bosun.
Oh, here we go.
The official dictionary pronunciation. Here we go.
Bosun.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bosun.
With the Mosin.
With the Mosin, exactly. So,
What words we talk about this, occasionally, but still, it's wild how many years you live, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing a word all along.
there was, well, I told you guys years ago that wrought iron I thought was rod iron, and the first time I saw it written, I was like, what? Oh, wrought iron. There's the word, and I've always pronounced it correctly, but I love saying it when I have it written in front of me because it's just one of those that doesn't make any sense the way that it's spelled, which is the word macabre.
Yes.
And I just like saying that because it's spelled M-A-C...
macabre.
Yeah, macabre. M-A-C-A-B-R-E.
Yeah.
And I just like saying macabre when seeing
It's
that.
absolutely macabre, rather banal in a niche sort of way.
Yes. Colored in the Ramon Glaze.
Steve, how do you pronounce the name of the Pennsylvania city that starts with L-A-N-C and it's about 30 miles west of here on Route 30?
Lancaster?
Oh, you said it correct that time.
Usually
a lot of times you say Lancaster.
Did I say it the right way?
You said it right this time.
Yeah.
Lancaster. I was told that when I first moved here. A listener, I'll never forget it, Barb, told me, she's like, I can tell you're from out of town.
Isn't that funny?
And she goes, how? She goes, because you said Lancaster.
Right.
And I, well, how the hell do you say it?
There's a Lancaster in California, I believe, and that's how it's
Burt
pronounced.
Lancaster.
Right, sure, the actor, yeah, but the town in Pennsylvania is Lancaster.
Nick, when you just asked me, in my mind, I heard myself say Lancaster.
Huh.
Yep.
So,
funny.
but I said it correctly.
Maybe you're coming around.
Yeah.
You know what I always get wrong?
I'm from PA now.
Preston, you corrected me on this because I think a lot of people in the East pronounce it incorrectly, but Nevada, not Nevada.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's
I
Missouri.
used to say Nevada, and then I saw a story one time that was like, if you are ever in the state and you call it that, people will immediately go, you're an out-of-towner, you've never
Right.
been here before, you don't know it's Nevada.
Nevada.
That's how they pronounce it. And there's also a town I think it's in South Dakota, and it's spelled Pierre.
Right.
But locals pronounce it Pier.
It's Pier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here is, and I think everybody mostly says Passyunk, but if you're local, it's
Passyunk.
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 Yeah.
So how long before you finally realized? I mean, obviously you've been around here forever, but Passyunk is one. Do you? Yeah. What are some of the other? Having grown up in New York and Long Island, there were a ton of Indian names for for towns. So it can be formidable for people who come to this area to try to name Schuylkill and all that stuff. It's a real mind F.
Well, it's funny when I get someone on the phone. Can I have your shipping address? And they try to spell Conshohocken or say it back to me.
Yeah.
That like a lot of people are like, I don't know what that is.
Try Balakinwood.
Yeah.
Oh my
Just
God.
spell it for him and ask him to say it back.
It took me a while to spell it correctly. Like I really had to think about it before I wrote it down.
I think
Balasinwid.
Balasinwid is what I think, and then I know how to write it out. Yeah. It's Welsh, right?
Yes.
I believe so.
Yeah, if there's ever a bunch of Y's and or L's or W's in a word, it's a Welsh word.
Do you use any sort of memory devices when you're spelling analingus?
I go back to my own thoughts, my own history. So somebody had texted in, how do you pronounce, where was it? M-A-C-A-D-A-M-E.
Macadam?
I would say
macadam, yeah.
macadamic. What is macadam? Is
It's
that
just blacktop.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say MacDam.
Yeah. Wow.
Bitch.
What about the Canadian province that starts with N-E-W-F-O-U?
So this is interesting that you should say that because we have a Newfoundland.
Nope.
That's how I would say
So
it.
it's a Newfoundland.
Newfoundland.
Oh,
Is the way it's
Newfoundland.
pronounced.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So I will default, Nick, when I'm around. Our good friends are actually from that area.
You say Newfie?
Newfie.
Yeah.
Cut right to it.
Dude,
I'm
same.
not going down that path. I'm not going down that path.
Steve, I've done it wrong so many times, and finally it was like hammered into my brain. It's Newfoundland,
Newfie, yeah.
not you don't say Newfoundland.
Right. Yes.
But yeah.
So I just go Newfie.
I got some calls here. Let me go to Shane. Hi, Shane. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. YouTube Shane here. How you doing?
Good. What's up, buddy?
All right. So as a kid, I would be in the department store, and I would see the word lingerie written out up there, and I would always pronounce it phonetically. I would say lingerie.
Lingerie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jokingly, we will say that.
Lingerie.
From time to time.
Yeah.
Lovely lingerie you have on there, but it's another one of those words that if you do not know the pronunciation, then you're going to say lingerie. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Shane. Appreciate it, buddy. All right. Let's go to Joe. Hi, Joe. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Great. What's up, man?
I get tortured every time I order it, every time I ask for it, but I cannot even say it correctly, but I say vanilla.
Vanilla? Go ahead.
That sounds okay.
Yeah.
Vanilla.
Yeah, you're more of an
Vanilla.
N-E-L-L-A, yeah.
Oh, you're saying as if it's spelled V-A-N-E-L-L-A?
I would say it like I spell it, like I would spell it V-I-N.
Vanilla.
Vanilla. Yeah.
Vanilla. Well,
Vanilla.
It's close
okay.
enough.
Yeah, it's in the ballpark where somebody would absolutely know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get tortured. My kids make fun of me. My wife makes fun of me.
Are you wearing lingerie when you order?
So when they ask what kind of ice cream do you say the white one?
I usually say the opposite of the chocolate.
The opposite of chocolate. I love it. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, there's some words that are just that stick.
Do you have
and you can't get them right?
Do you have any can you sense in yourself any carryover from your Southern upbringing that is still permeated through to the way you speak today?
No.
Because I don't ever hear anything.
No,
and
no.
I'm attuned to dialects and stuff like that. The one thing I might slip on slightly occasionally is chocolate.
Yeah.
I might do that. And for the most part, I think I'm fairly antiseptic.
Now, this is a dialect, but you say sandwich.
Yep. Sandwich.
Yeah.
Instead of sandwich.
Yeah.
Instead of a CH, you hit it with a soft G on the end, sandwich.
Press, you
which
hit
I,
a
which I think
couple
is definitely northeast.
That's New York.
You hit a couple of things that it won't stick out until I hear it. I'm like, oh, okay, you say that differently than we do. One of them that I know for sure is the other word for attorney.
Yeah. Wait, the other word, a lawyer?
Yeah. Yeah. Like here, it's more like
Lawyer.
lawyer. People say lawyer here, but you say
But I
like
don't
lawyer.
think that's where
I say like law wire.
I don't think that's where you grew up. I think that's correct, and our pronunciation is just lazy.
It's a little bit different. Yeah. I think of the word
it's
law.
definitely an accent.
I think of the word law. Another word that I definitely have not succumbed to the East and how it's pronounced is I say tournament.
Yeah.
You guys say tournament. And you know what?
I say tournament.
You know who was talking about that? Was oh man, why am I drawing a blank? Local comedian and
Pat House?
No, older, way back. Used to be on
David Brenner?
Nope, used to be on the Magic Hour, the Magic.
Craig Shoemaker.
Our friend Craig. I was blanking on his name.
He's gonna be so mad that you just
No. Because he told me he's like, all right. He goes, how do you say the word? If there's a championship and a group are playing and it said tournament, he goes, see, now we say up here tournament. And he's like, and I think we got that one right because the word tour is at the beginning of it. And I'm like, you know what? You're right about that. Tournament. And you can see that in The Karate Kid because he's from Newark and he always says tournament and everybody else says tournament. Tournament.
Hang on. But we also will say tourney. You know, like Nick, how do you say that? Yeah. Well, you'll say tourney,
like
right?
The NCAA tourney?
Yeah.
Instead of a tourney.
Tourney. I won't say tourney, right? Yeah. A bunch of texts are coming in.
Bunch of hypocrites.
I know. Well, yeah.
It's such an imprecise way. Language in general can be this way, but I mean, there's so many things that are just completely arbitrary.
I've heard this before. People pronouncing Pillo, Pello, not pillow.
Pello.
Also, my dad and Barkan actually has some fun with this too. But my dad is not doing it on purpose. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Right.
And I think that's kind of like a Delco thing. I'm not sure.
What else did you notice about me? I want to know.
I don't even know.
I want to fix my problems.
You were pretty clear.
I want to fix my thingies.
We can fix you. We can make you better. Like RoboCop.
What is a thing that your feet are attached to?
Your ankles.
Well, part of the appendage is your ankle.
Part of the appendage is my ankle.
Your leg?
Yeah. Okay.
What does Pierre say?
Leg.
Yeah.
And so does my
Leg.
brother-in-law says leg.
He also
egg.
has, when he has breakfast, he has
Ow,
eggs.
my
Eggs.
leg.
Scrambled eggs.
What is that?
Pierre has scrambled eggs
No,
for
I know,
breakfast.
but what is
Oh,
that?
California.
Okay, it is. All right.
Steve, pronounce D-R-A-W-E-R.
Drawer.
You usually say draw.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
Steve
haven't
does.
noticed that.
Yeah.
I say drawer.
Draw.
Drawer.
Okay.
You know what's funny? Okay, because we always called it. So your living room. Some people call it a parlor.
Parlor, right.
Okay, but we never called it a parlor. We called it a parlor.
Oh,
Okay.
parlor.
And
So
I
is
had
it-
never heard anybody else besides the people that I live with in my house in Rutledge call it a parlor until I ran into Chuck D'Amico, and his grandfather called it a parlor.
So do you call it a parlor 11?
No.
So we have a parlor in our house, which when we bought the house, it was referred to as a parlor. So we carry that
Yeah,
on.
keep that.
But you don't call it a
It's
parlor.
fun.
No, we call it the S room. No, we do call it parlor. But a lot of people say parlor.
Yeah.
Parlor. Yeah.
Marissa?
I'm so excited we have the lawyer conversation, Preston. I've been sitting on this clip for so many years. I heard somebody say it the same way that you say it.
Okay.
In the movie The Client. Do you remember that with Brad Renfro?
Absolutely.
And I forget what happened to his little brother or something
Susan
like that.
Sarandon is in it?
Yes,
Yeah.
please play this clip.
This is the only time you've heard somebody besides me say lawyer?
I haven't watched many Southern movies, I guess.
Southern?
Movies with like,
You're from the deep south.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I've
that's
never
what I
heard
was saying.
somebody
I
say
don't
it.
think it's an accent. I think you're just pronouncing it properly.
Yeah, I think so. All right, here we go.
Why is it you think you want a lawyer?
I don't want a lawyer. I hate lawyers.
Lawyers.
Every lawyer I ever had just shafted me and my mom. I said I need a lawyer.
Lawyer.
I
Yeah.
never knew that you guys heard that differently. I've never noticed it. Lawyer.
I thought you were saying it right. Lawyer.
Interesting.
So, when you need a lawyer.
Yeah. Get one with a cowboy hat. Mm-hmm. Do we have to take a break? Oh, my God. Yes, we do.
Oh, my God.
We got the money to get to. I apologize. I would
got
like to
buried in-
apologize to both Jennifer Garner and her boyfriend, Ben
I'd like to
Affleck.
apologize to Jennifer Garner and her pool boy, Ben Affleck.
So we are going to take a break. We're going to come back and we are going to get to Good Money It and the Bizarre File. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia. It's time for a Good Money It keyword.
All right, the word is first. F-I-R-S-T. You have until 15 minutes after the hour to enter that. There are 3 ways for you to do it. You can enter it through WMMR.com. You can do it through the MMR app, or you can text it, to our special contest short code number, which is 45911. And one random entry wins $1,000 in our company-wide contest. Each winner will get a call from Beasley, so make sure that you do indeed answer your phone. Contest rules available at WMMR.com, and it is sponsored by McLaughlin Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Of course, we have 5 chances for you to win throughout the day. This is the first one. Do it again at 10, noon, 3, and 5. And the word for you to enter now is first, F-I-R-S-T. So, Nick, we played Dark Matter, and you had a cool thing happen with the band, right?
Yeah, so I was scrolling through Instagram last night, and I follow Pearl Jam on Instagram, Twitter, everything, and I'm scrolling through their Instagram feed, and lo and behold, there's a picture of me on Pearl Jam's Instagram account, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And so they had a record release party the other day, and you could listen to Dark Matter, the entire record. We did it at a place called the Record Store out in Phoenixville. It was a lot of fun. A lot of people showed up. Sorry, the Record Shop in Phoenixville. And a lot of MMR listeners stopped by, which was really cool. And so Pearl Jam on their official accounts put a picture of me holding up their Dark Matter poster. And I was kind of blown away that I was included in their post. And so it was nice to see a local shop represented. It was nice to see the radio station represented. And it was kind of cool to see myself represented.
Yeah, man. Do you think Eddie himself had anything to do with this? Maybe he kind of runs the account.
Oh, my God. Is that Nick?
I mean, Eddie's in the same post that I'm in, so I can't imagine that he wasn't aware that I'm, that we're only a few slides away from one another. So
There's no way they run their account.
Why didn't anybody tell me Nick had done something?
No, you're right, Kev. Of course they don't. But I would think maybe they are at least aware that radio stations like MMR continue to support them, and perhaps somewhere in the back of their mind, Nick lives in Eddie's brain.
He has to.
I thought Barsky was on that station.
All right, we have to get a look at traffic, so let's do that now. Kathy, what's going on this morning, please?
We've got some issues in Hamilton Township. 195 westbound stopped between Route 130 and 206. It's an accident. It's just blocking the left lane, so you can pass by it, but you're crawling up to the accident scene. 42 north, heavy Blackwood Clemson Road to 295. 55 northbound, jam Stepford to 42. On the Schuylkill eastbound, that's slow 202 into Belmont, heavy the Boulevard to the Vine. Westbound jams Bear Avenue to the Vine, the Boulevard to Belmont, the Blue Route to Gulf Mills. 95 southbound, heavy Academy into the Vine Expressway. The Vine westbound is heavy the length. Pennsylvania Turnpike westbound, that's jammed Willow Grove to Fort Washington. And then on 896 in Delaware, northbound, the off-ramp to 95 northbound blocked with construction. They're out there until Friday evening at 6 p.m. This traffic report brought to you by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, let's get to some stars.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by A.D. Moyer Lumber and their trusted experts since 1939. A.D. Moyer Lumber, your professional source for decks, windows, doors, kitchens, millwork, and more. Visit them on the web at admoyer.com. Well, door-to-door salespeople might want to watch out. A Slovenian startup company has crafted a bold, smart security camera that not only monitors visitors, but also shoots paintball pellets or tear gas at intruders with ultra-high precision.
Dude, I want that.
I was watching a video of this last night, and it pivots around. It follows any intruders that might be in the area, and then it could shoot them.
Does it issue a preemptive warning?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Dubbed Paint Cam Eve, this device uses automatic target marking and AI-based decision-making to identify unfamiliar visitors, and it even issues warnings before opening fire.
Hey, it's life in the big city.
Yeah, you have 30 seconds to comply. While its aggressive capabilities raise questions about potential misuse and legal liability, the creators plan to launch a Kickstarter campaign, leaving many excited about the new gadget and others worried about potential danger and legal applications.
And my front porch, citizen.
That is out of hand. So
that is kind of cool, though. I think if you could manually, that's the function you want.
I'd stay away from the AI decision-making part.
I would make it more manual and then just pick off people.
In Virginia, this is terrible, horrible story. A woman died after being mauled by 3 dogs overnight in Portsmouth. Officers responded to a home just after 1:30 a.m., found the woman with serious injuries. She later died at the hospital. The police chief, the 3 dogs were pit bulls. They are in custody. The police chief said while these dogs are now quarantined and no longer pose a threat to the community, we urge residents to refrain from trespassing or attempting to interact with animals without explicit permission from their owners, as this can help prevent future incidents of this nature. And he said, additionally, we want to remind pet owners that it is critical to the well-being of others to keep their animals secure.
It's a huge issue.
At this time, no charges have been filed and police have not identified the victim. Lawrence Davis, who lives across the street from the home, said that the victim was a visitor at the time, and the man who lives at the home owns the dog. So I don't have any more info, but 3 dogs killed her. That's just wild. A man was arrested Thursday for allegedly taking over a decommissioned New York City fireboat for an overnight cruise on the Hudson River before becoming stuck, jumping ship, and stealing another vessel.
Who left the keys in it?
The man commandeered the fireboat known as the John J. Harvey by untying it from its mooring at Pier 66 off the west side of Manhattan.
I'm a captain.
The 130-foot-long vessel, which now serves as a museum, earned local acclaim after it was used to evacuate survivors of 9/11. Once aboard the fireboat, the man was able to drift a short distance into the Hudson River, police said, but quickly got stuck. He leapt overboard, plunging into the frigid waters, and later emerged on a second stolen vessel. He navigated that sailboat towards Pier 51, roughly 15 blocks south of the original location. The department's harbor unit responded at about 2:30 a.m. to a call about a stolen boat and arrested the man on the sailboat's deck.
He's feeling the call of the open sea, Preston, and sometimes you can't fight it.
The fireboat is secure and being assessed for damage.
I like boats.
A New York City man has been charged with murder in connection with the discovery of a human head and body parts in a Brooklyn apartment refrigerator. Nicholas McGee was arrested Thursday and also charged with robbery, concealment of a human corpse, and tampering with evidence. The remains of 40-year-old Kawashin Geltzer were found in an apartment that McGee shared with Heather Steins, who was arrested on charge of concealment of a human corpse as well. Officers said they responded to a request for a wellness check at the apartment and found multiple black bags with body parts in the refrigerator and freezer. Medical examiners were able to identify Geltzer through fingerprints. Police did not provide additional details about the case.
So my question here is, if you are doing that, are you still actively using the refrigerator for its intended purpose? Like, is the body part next to the liverwurst you're making a sandwich with?
Oh, you know what? Somebody like this? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
They probably keep their snacks right next to the severed head.
The milk is behind the head.
Yeah. A man is currently in the St. Louis County Jail accused of stealing more than $1,500 worth of vibrators from the Hustler Hollywood store.
All right.
Police say that Christopher Booth
I didn't steal them.
Entered the store on Wednesday evening last month and took 8 high-end vibrators from the shelves and shoved them in a white trash bag before fleeing.
I wonder what constitutes a high-end vibrator.
Booth allegedly stole vibrators made by Swedish sex toy company Lilo that retail for a little less than $200 each.
I'm more a Stitch fan myself.
Yeah. Booth had been at the porn and erotica store the day prior and had gotten into an argument with employees before being asked to leave. Employees easily identified him as the alleged thief by his large 314 neck tattoo. That's the area code in
Of course.
St. Louis.
Yeah.
Law enforcement subsequently located the vibrators listed for sale on Facebook Marketplace by Booth. Interviewed by police, he denied having a Facebook account. He has one. Prosecutors filed the felony stealing charge against him yesterday. And then one more, and maybe you guys caught this story. 2 men arrested in Newark, New Jersey, are being called career criminals, but police say they aren't stealing things like cars or jewelry. They were allegedly swiping shopping carts. On any given day, there typically used to be about 400 to 500 shopping carts available at the ShopRite supermarket in Rochelle Park. But starting in March and continuing in April, the number of carts available was noticeably smaller. According to Robert Allen, the real estate manager for ShopRite, he said, I think the store manager was the first to notice that we were running low on carts. We have a good security team and started looking at the video and noticed a red van coming and going. They were even dressed like cart guys with the lime yellow shirts and everything. But they were not cart guys. Police arrested 77-year-old Alfredo Rodriguez and 54-year-old Hector Cortez.
Fake cart guys.
Calling them the shopping cart bandits. The pair was busted in the parking lot after the store security started their own investigation and handed cops their security video. A detective, Nick Mercuron, said, we blocked the guys in. They were in a corner in a parking lot, and lo and behold, they gave us consent to search their vehicle, and there were 5 shopping carts in there. Rodriguez and Cortez allegedly had been at it for 2 weeks, taking at least 140 carts.
140 carts?
But here's the deal. They sell for about $200 a piece wholesale.
Wow.
So they did the math, 140 carts, about $28,000 worth of shopping carts.
So are they selling them to be used as carts or to be melted down?
McCurran said, we believe that they're selling them to smaller bodegas or scrapping them, but they had proceeds on them and they were making cash. Maybe both.
Maybe both. Do those bandits know that in the supermarket are cash registers and items to be stolen?
But it apparently is more common than most would believe. The Food Marketing Institute estimates 2 million shopping carts are stolen each year.
Wow, I never even thought of that.
And sometimes it's done as a matter of convenience, but not always.
Have you guys been in shopping centers where you can only take the cart to a certain part of the parking lot?
Yes.
And then it locks up on you?
Yep. Me in Wildwood.
Drives me nuts. And I guess it's for this very reason, but you can't even get to the far end of the parking lot sometimes.
Yeah.
What do they have, like a transmitter on?
Yeah. And so Steve, it's almost like a dog, going through an invisible fence or whatever. Like,
man,
you can't make it past a certain area, and the wheels lock up on you.
And the reason being, they're expensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
That's exactly right.
And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you. A little later on this morning, we are going to be talking to our friend Chris Geisens. He is the CEO of Wawa.
Yes.
And today is Wawa Day.
Very cool.
60 years ago, Wawa was born. The stores were born. So we'll talk to him about what's going on. But a quick reminder, you only got 2 minutes left. The word you need to enter for good money, it is FIRST, F-I-R-S-T, but you need to move right now. Text it to 45911 or go through the MMR app or WMMR.com. But the word is first. We want you to win that $1,000 from McLaughlin Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll take a break and be right back, so make sure you stay with us.
Metro traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thanks, Kath. A couple new things on PrestonandSteve.com for you to check out. Casey's rant against the NBA is now a video that Kyle has put together, and it's a bit of a scream therapy session over the Sixers not making the playoffs. It's enjoyable whether you understand basketball or not. So you can see that. And Marissa and Matt, her husband, their punk rock wedding.
Yes.
With 14 never-before-seen photos. Is available now for you to see.
I love all that stuff.
PrestonandSteve.com. Exciting new stuff for you to check out. So, if you will, please go and peruse. So, Nick had mentioned something interesting about his fiance, which I thought was worth bringing up. I was intrigued by this. But number one, Andrea's she's an artist.
Yeah.
She's got a very cool spirit about her.
And like many artists, she'll find new hobbies, and those hobbies become passions, and then those passions become obsessions. And I,
where are we? Passion or obsession on this?
We are now bordering on obsession.
Okay.
And I say this in a loving way, and I actually admire it, because when she gets into something, in part, Preston, she's kind of like you. Like when you did iFly, you really got into iFly, right? And then when you are so into golf, you're super into golf, and you kind of obsess about it. And I think it actually helps you improve your game, or improve skydiving or whatever when you're doing iFly. And so right now, her hobby, her passion, her obsession has become, believe it or not, marbles.
Marbles.
Yeah. And I haven't really thought about marbles since I was a kid. And I'm talking about the marbles that you played with when you were a kid. You would spin them. You'd play marbles with friends or whatever. There were little games that you could play with boards. And I played them when I was a kid. But there is an entire art. There's a history to them.
That's what I was wondering. So she's coming in on an aesthetic level, not on the I now want to play marbles all day long.
Correct. Yes. Right. And there's a craft. So it's the craft to making them, Steve. Like there's an art behind making them. There's a whole bunch of different designs. There's a lot of different types of quality that goes into making them. And it's so I hadn't thought about it for a long time, and I found this obsession of hers actually pretty fascinating for me too. So I'm kind of diving in.
So she's making marbles?
What's that?
She's making marbles?
She's not making them. No, she's finding them and collecting them.
By the way, I think that the Marble National Championship takes place in Wildwood, New Jersey.
No kidding.
Casey, when you're walking in Wildwood, you know where the dog park is?
Yeah.
Out there on the beach?
Yeah.
I think right before that are these big marble.
That's what that is?
Those are for
Those
playing
little,
marbles, yes.
Pins or whatever.
And I think that I'm pretty sure they do the national championship.
Yeah, the National Marble Tournament.
There it is.
Is in Wildwood?
Uh-huh.
How about that? When is
Does
it?
Andrea know this?
She'll know now. I'll text her first thing. When is it, Kath?
I never knew what
looking.
those were.
Yeah, we're looking at a video of them, Steve. They have these big, playing fields.
I thought they were sumo wrestling courts.
And they're these big circles that they have out on the beach. And
I've seen them, yeah.
They're for playing marbles.
Wow.
Looks like you need a team, organize a marble team. Trying to find a date here, Nick.
Kathy's digging this idea.
I've never seen these
Yeah,
before.
this is not my cup of. I get
You're
it.
more
like,
sumo wrestling.
I would have joined the sumo wrestling team for sure. I never played marbles. I thought marbles were cool and like collected them at some point as a kid, but I
thought the game was kind of dumb.
I don't even know what the game is, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you try to knock other ones with your marble out of the circle is the basic premise of it, and there are certain marbles that you use to, as the, I don't know, the cue ball or whatever.
Yeah.
But I never have really understood the game.
It's
But
similar to a number of other games where you're looking to knock out from a circle.
I think marbles, appearance-wise, are kind of cool.
And so
because each one is almost like a fingerprint. No two are really alike.
That's exactly right. And so the artist part of her brain is excited by that too, Preston. There's a whole lot of craft that goes into the creation of marbles. There's some marbles are better quality than others. There are different countries that make different kinds of marbles. Some of them are made of porcelain, some are made from glass. The biggest marble production in the United States was in West Virginia. So you can go and where these factories used to be in West Virginia, you can literally mine for marbles. People do it. They'll go creek beds where the factories
pan for marbles.
and pan for marbles where they used to be.
Well, she could join the board if she wants. I'm looking at the president, vice president, board members. Now, here's the only thing I found, Nick. It is, let's see, 1,200 marble games played over 4 days. It's every June, the week after Father's Day, but I think it's just for kids.
Yeah, I think it is.
Kids?
I think it's
Okay.
for adults. So listen, I'm going to piggyback onto this conversation because this is, a new obsession. Okay, so she's into this. It's a collectible thing. I have a neighbor. We have a good friend of ours who has started to obsess over something that we find it's kind of funny that she's into this, but it's her thing. And I'm going to call her out. This is Michelle Miller, Brian Miller's wife. She is on a quest to create the perfect ice cube.
The perfect ice cube.
Hold on. I want to get in on this with her.
All right.
Do you really?
I want her tips because I've tried to do
To make it clear?
To make it clear,
Yes.
I've boiled the water. I've
Yes.
used distilled water.
There's a
I've
whole-
boiled and then cooled it.
Well, you suck in the kitchen, so... But she will send us pictures of her ice cubes.
Oh, she
that
needs to tell me
makes.
how she's doing
The
it.
idea is to make it almost look like a plasticine.
Yeah, clear.
Clear.
No white.
No white.
No, kind of frosting looking
Completely
thing.
transparent.
And so she's got these very specific techniques.
So can she do it?
She can do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I need
she's
to talk to
creative.
her.
She do the big ball
or
ones?
she creates. There are certain like shapes that you can create.
Well,
in there,
so what
like
I-
lines.
Within the
Yes,
cube?
within the cube. Yeah, it's.
I want to see that.
So what I was
and marbles.
What I was trying to do was place something inside of the ice cube or inside the water and freeze it, and then it's almost becomes a decoration, right? You put it in like an ice bucket, and you can put like flowers in them, and so it makes it pretty. I was trying to do it for a party. No, it turned out completely white. You couldn't see the flower.
Right.
So we tried all of these. Me and my friend tried all these different ways, and we can't. We got them a little better, but we did not get them fully clear. And we've tried so many different methods.
What do you
want me
call
to do-
this?
Are
hobby?
you calling her, Marissa? I have her number. We can call Michelle and
I
see if
need
she
to
wants
know.
to go on.
Okay.
So
I
what do
need to know how she does it.
So I called up Ice Cube art. It's pictures of Ice Cube, paintings of Ice Cube, the rapper.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that's
yeah, not
what you
that.
want.
No.
Press, does she make? Because I love those big ball ice cubes. The
Yes.
one, I guess,
Yeah.
maybe it's for whiskey
like
or
big
something like
ball.
that. I love big ball.
That's what I was.
What
using.
about
big balls?
You just like those?
Yeah. Well, no, I wanted to ask if is that what she's making, or is she making?
No.
like,
Well, she makes
or-
large cubes. It's like one pretty large cube. It's sometimes if you order a cocktail,
Yes.
Steve,
Yeah.
they will put just this one large cube, and it melts slower.
I like that. Like
It
for an
keeps it colder
old-fashioned?
longer. Yeah, old fashioned.
Yeah.
Light. So she does the large cube.
Okay.
So, but not the ball. So I don't know about that.
So I just had a drink the other day, and it was a hibiscus margarita, and there wasn't actually any hibiscus flavoring in the margarita. It was inside the large ice cube.
It was
Preston.
infused into there.
Yep. So as it melted, you started to get a little bit of the hibiscus flavor.
So
but
you say hibiscus, huh?
Hibiscus.
what do you say? Hibiscus.
Hibiscus. Yeah.
Hibiscus.
Yeah.
But it was clear. The ice cube was clear, and you could see it in there.
So this is the thing. This is the thing that
This is
people
the
get
thing, and
involved with.
I want to know how to do
And
it.
you want to know how to do it.
Uh-huh.
And so, Nick, for the marbles, I just saw that a German swirl marble sold for $1,500.
Dude, there's money. They're collectibles.
Yeah.
So people will collect really rare, really fancily made marbles, Steve, marbles that were made in like foreign countries in China,
Right.
and Germany, or whatever. And they are a collectible item. I never knew that they were a collectible item, but they are. And there's value.
I tend to do this. I obsess about things when I get into hobbies, and I spend all my time doing research on it. And but you people who do that, like myself, tend to move from thing to thing to thing.
Yeah, this marbles will be over within 2 months.
I thought you were going to say the shells. What were the shells she found in
Oh my
Clearwater?
God. Yeah, sand dollars.
I thought you were going to say sand dollars. I didn't realize that she. So what did she push the sand dollars aside? I need to know.
I think she's going to try to find a way to incorporate sand dollars into marble art.
Okay, all
And
right.
She'll I don't know, make a chandelier out of it or something.
You had to see her in Clearwater. I mean, Nick, was there like 100 of them, right?
She didn't even come to any of the ball games in Clearwater because she was so obsessed with sand dollars.
sand-
for a bit. And she was walking up and down the beach in Clearwater and kind of like mining them.
But she would find spots where she'd have
Yeah.
to walk into the water, like, maybe up to her knees, and then she would just start collecting.
That's
all
how
of
her
them.
brain works. And I think a lot of artists operate the same way. Like they get obsessed with something and then they get fixated on it.
I'm surprised the amount of people that are texting in about the ice cubes too. But we're gonna.
I want to see what it looks like.
We're gonna get some other calls. So let me go to Paul, who collects marbles. Hi, Paul. You're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, buddy. What's up?
Hey, look here, man. I have to dispute who said that marbles are going to be gone in a couple of months. I've been collecting marbles for years.
No, Paul, you misheard. I said her obsession might be gone in a couple of months.
Okay, well, marbles are going to be around forever. I'm actually holding a jar of my marbles in my hands.
You're like Toodles.
Are those your favorites?
Oh, look, the cat eyes are my favorite.
Cat eyes are your favorite.
like those,
Okay.
yeah.
Of course.
I even have a cat eye ring that was made from a marble.
Paul, do you have one that you think is more rare than others?
Oh, no, I can't even start to say which one is the best one because I have so many. I mean, I have a couple hundred marbles.
You have a couple hundred marbles. Do you simply collect or do you play marbles as well, Paul?
Oh, I play marbles. I have a little dirt area in my backyard that I actually, when people come over, I ask them, do they want to play marbles?
Oh.
Do they know how to play marbles? And I'm about it. I mean, I've been collecting these for years, like I said, and this is something that it's not an obsession. It's just a joy.
It's a joy.
Paul, I have a question. When you play marbles, when you shoot somebody else, or if you win, do you get the other person's marbles?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I
Wow,
thought.
so you're playing for like complete ownership of their product or their marble collection.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. If I hit your marble, that marble's mine.
Oh.
Oh, that's
Wow.
right. You keep them.
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
So you got skin in the game, so to speak.
So that's sort of a very dominant sort of way to play the game, right? Imagine if, like in baseball, you tag somebody out, you could keep that player.
It's a skill how you use your thumb, how you aim the marble.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you don't want it to go too far, so you pop it to the dirt and you let it go just a little way. So there's a skill to it.
Hey, Paul, has this been like a lifelong thing for you, or did you do it as a kid and then revisit it as an adult?
I did it as a kid and have done it since then. I mean, marbles have just been. I grew up with them. I mean, that was the fun in my neighborhood.
Do you go to conventions?
I haven't, but every time I hear about them, I'm always into something else, and I never can get to them. But I always hear about the competition down in Wildwood, and I watch it on TV when I do hear about it, and it's just a beautiful thing. I'm glad people still,
what channel? So let me ask you. Besides, I completely get this. I completely get the joy of collecting something or taking a deep dive into something and immersing yourself in the world. You said there are other things. What is next? What is second level behind marbles in your fascination? What other collections do you have? I'm a retired iron worker.
Okay.
So my fascination with construction, I have a 1952 erector set.
The classic erector set. Yeah, that was
Yes, sir.
every kid had every boy had an erector set. It was one of
Mine has never been used. Every piece of it is still there, and I actually willed it to my daughter.
Have you ever had it assessed as far as its value?
No, I haven't. You know, because I don't want to know. It's just so sentimental to me that
no,
value doesn't even matter.
That's pure. I love that.
Paul, I have a question for you about when you're playing the game. Does the expression "playing for all the marbles" come from playing the marbles game?
Yes, sir.
This is for all the marbles.
This is for all the marbles, and so when you win, you get to keep all the marbles.
Yes, indeed.
All right, we're going to let you go, Paul, but somebody had texted in and requested you shake the jar of marbles again for us.
That's awesome.
Paul, thank you so much for calling, man.
All right. Gadzooks again.
Gadzooks, buddy. Take care.
So a mint erector's set from the 50s in good condition is around $70-$80.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot less.
More, yeah.
That's a lot of times.
$1 million.
Yeah, things that you think are worth a whole lot.
That's
are
worth
really,
$14.
But for him, it's all about
priceless.
Yep, it's priceless. Exactly. Let me go to, and I'm going to go to another marble call, and I will get to the ice cubes. So hang on the line if you're on about that. I'm going to go to Dennis. Dennis, good morning, sir.
Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning, Ed.
Good morning, Ned. Good morning to see you. What's up, buddy?
Nothing. So, my pops goes to West Virginia every year for vacation, So we go every once in a while, and there's this glass blower, and he specializes in marbles. So we took my son there. Of course, he loves it. And there's this blue marble. It's called a Chaos Marble. I don't know if Nick's girlfriend knows.
I heard all about the Chaos Marble. Where in West Virginia is it?
It's like Davis, West Virginia. We go to Canaan Valley.
So what distinguishes a Chaos Marble, Dennis?
So it's like inside, it looks like a galaxy. I mean, there might be galaxy marbles as well, but it just looks like you can stare at this thing for like an hour, and it looks different every little time you move it.
They are very cool. Is there one uniform, globally observed, proper size for a marble, or do they vary all over the place?
So they varied all over. This one was like, say you put your a little bit bigger than your thumb and your index finger.
Okay.
And it was like $60.
Wow.
And then he had some that were up to $200, $250, $300.
Damn, friggin' marble!
Wow. He's like, he like engraved it for us. Supposedly he's like known for his marbles.
Okay.
Do you know what I think? I think of a larger version, bowling balls and bowling ball art, which is similar where they do designs with inside the ball.
Yeah,
like in Kingpin.
Like Steve, like a crystal ball.
Crystal ball, or Mystery Men.
All right, Dennis, thank you, man. Appreciate it, bud.
Exactly. Take care, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you. I didn't know they built that much.
That there's like an ASMR sort of value to
marbles.
The way they sound?
Dipping your hand into like a big
Absolutely.
big bowl of marbles, yeah.
I used to love that game, Kerplunk.
Kerplunk with the sticks.
And the marbles.
Yeah, I love those.
It was a fun game. And when they would come in, that would go, they would clack a little bit. But so my friend Michelle is in the middle of a call, so she can't jump on about her ice cube or quest for the perfect ice cube. But her husband, Brian, is on the line.
All right.
So we are going to go to him. Morning, bud.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good. So we, Nick brought up his fiance Andrea's obsession with marbles. And I said, well, my neighbor has an obsession that's kind of in that same line.
Obsession is a light word.
Yeah, and it's the quest to create the perfect ice cube. And Brian, you'll be, I guess, glad to know that a lot of people are texting in that have a similar obsession as well.
She actually came back. She was down in Virginia this weekend with some work people, and they were at one of their houses, and this guy had like a crystal clear ice cube, and she found out how he did it.
Mm-hmm.
She came home. I don't know if she's already ordered this stuff to make it or what, but she comes into this and she's like, well, you have to be very careful because there's directional freezing. And I think you heard her dissertation on that one.
I did.
What directional? It's crazy. Like all for ice cubes, which are eventually going to melt anyway.
So let me ask you, in as much as that it's an ephemeral hobby by nature, are there things that allow you to keep an ice cube for display purposes?
Well, Press could answer that because I bought a couple of bags of this like clear, like round ice specifically just for drinks. And unfortunately, if it sits in the freezer too long, it goes to pot.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It's just one. And also it's in a cheap little, mini freezer. If it was in an actual, freezer, maybe a little bit, but I don't think so. I mean, she's figured out the necessity for like appropriate insulation and direction. Like she's turned into Michelle Nye, the science chick. Like,
so it's not like an easy, because I've started this. I tried this and I can't figure it out. There's a lot that's going into this, Brian, huh?
It's nuts, Kath. I had no idea how much went into just trying to get a clear ice cube for your drink.
Well, do you know? So I looked into getting a little ice machine, right? Like when I did my new kitchen, I wanted one built in. The difference in price
is ridiculous.
They ask you, do you want clear ice?
After 6 months.
Yeah, do you want clear ice or regular ice? The price difference in an ice maker that makes clear ice is, thousands.
So you're saying that for your refrigerator, you could specify to have an ice maker that makes...
No, this was like a little ice maker, like a separate little unit that goes in.
And that runs thousands of dollars?
There are certain refrigerator units, and I won't use, which ones they are, but there are certain refrigerator units that are being made now that give you the option to make like 6 round clear cubes a day.
That's got to be Viking, right?
A day. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even that high end. Steve.
Okay.
It's a little less than that.
Wow.
But it's my brother-in-law got one. It broke 6 months later.
All right, Brian. Brian, you're a loving husband, and obviously you love Michelle. And I'm asking you this as a fellow who's going through something similar. What is your tolerance and patience on the clear ice cube for you versus marbles for me?
I will get up and go downstairs and smoke a cigar.
Okay, that's it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you don't get to smoke in the ice.
Well, Brian, I'm serious. Can you ask her I just need like I need some tips. I might not be able to get it as clear as her, but I need to make a clear ice cube.
Be happy to share this information.
All right, okay.
She'll draw up a PDF for you.
Okay.
She's all about putting decks together and all this kind of. It'll be a PowerPoint presentation. It'll be better than a TED Talk.
Okay.
All right, Brian. Thanks, buddy.
I didn't realize you were into this, Kathy.
Because I tried a number of times. I tried last summer, like I said, for a party, and then I tried this holiday season, actually 2 holiday seasons in a row, because there's these holiday drinks that you can make, and you do a little Christmas tree ice cube, and then you put these little like greens in it to make it. Well, you couldn't see the damn greens because it was cloudy.
There's a friend of mine that's a member at a country club, and so they had a machine, a mold that made the large round ice ball. And the thing about those is you can only make so many at a time. They take up a lot of space in the freezer.
Right.
And so then they're gone at some point. So they got this contraption that makes them fairly quickly. And I think that it cost Kathy somewhere in the neighborhood of like $6,000 or $7,000.
I would
Christ,
and it just makes them one at a time.
So I have those where you can make the round ice cube, and this is it has little. I didn't know until I got it. I thought you just put water in and you put it. No, so you have to close it, and to make it rounds, there's like a little hole at the top, and you have to add the extra water so that it makes a full circle.
A bubble.
Yep.
Wow.
Steve, here's a picture of what I was trying to do. See?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like there's flowers inside
the ice cube.
Yeah.
All right. Let me. We have a few calls on everything here. Let me go to Nick, who has a perfect ice tip for you, and then I have somebody who actually owns an ice company that we're going to go to. Hi, Nick. Good morning.
Good morning, it.
Hey, good morning to see you, buddy. What's up?
So yeah, I'm a home amateur bartender, and I've tried to do that for years. And Kathy, it's much easier than it seems.
Okay.
There are hundreds of things on Amazon that'll help you do directional freezing. Basically, it's an ice mold, and almost all the sides are covered with a insulator of some sort, basically a cooler. You could do this in your freezer with a cooler. If you expose one side of it to the freezing air, it freezes top down, and it pushes all those bubbles and impurities and cloudy stuff
down
to the bottom, down and out. So I've done it with like Christmas drinks with like cranberries and or something. And you put it in there and you try to get it into the center of the cube and then let it do its directional freezing thing. It takes a little while. And then when you pop them out and you just wash them off with a little bit of water to get some of the cloudy stuff on the outside.
God, my nipples are hard.
It looks great.
Okay, so wait.
Directional freezing.
Do they have like directional freezing ice cube trays, or am I creating this?
Nope, they have. Go on Amazon, look for clear ice cube trays. There's one made by Clear. I think the one I had cost like $14, and the cube ones work a lot better than the spheres because it's hard to, expose one portion of a sphere.
Right.
It's insane. I didn't realize it. So let me ask you, perhaps you know, Nick, are there ways to, once you've done a sort of quasi work of art ice cube or ice sphere, is there a way to store it in a way where you could hold on to it for a while and display it?
Display it? I don't know about display it, but I do. My cooler makes 6 big cubes at a time. And I'll do a batch, and I'll just put them in a Ziploc bag in the freezer. They get a little frosty, and I have to kind of clean them up before I put them in a drink for somebody. But they'll stay.
All right.
Thanks,
Wow.
Nick. Yeah, Steve. People they use them. They don't display them. So
what if you do like a masterpiece?
you got to take a picture of it.
Display it.
It's ice. You got to take a picture of it. All right. Noah owns Philadelphia Ice Craft.
Okay.
Or Craft Ice. I'm sorry, Philadelphia Craft Ice, and they make the clear cubes. Hey, Noah, how you doing, man?
Good morning, everybody. How you doing?
Wonderful. So we had the last caller talking about directional freezing. Can you piggyback onto that? Is that the magic? Is that the voodoo that you do?
Yes, exactly. So first of all, this is amazing, to hear people talking about clear ice in the morning on the radio. So yeah, we have some large machines. They make 300-pound blocks, but we use the same type of method with directional freezing. We freeze from bottom up with our machine, and we circulate the water on top, because what's making everybody's ice cloudy is air that's getting trapped inside.
Okay.
So when you say, just for the layperson, you're saying the intensity of the freezing process is literally done in levels starting from the base up.
Correct. There's a cold plate on the bottom of our machine, and we circulate the water on the top. And then once we harvest these big 300-pound blocks, we use a couple different size band saws to cut the perfect size for your glass, whether it's 2-inch, 1.5-inch cubes, a Collins glass for a tall, skinnier spear for your, gin and tonic. Big punch ball cubes, spheres. We even have pineapple-shaped molds. We kind of do it all for.
We're looking at. I think what is your Instagram page here. Connor pulled up some pictures. This stuff is pretty wild.
Hey, Noah, who purchases ice from you guys? Who's the type of customer that you serve?
We have a bunch of amazing restaurant partners all over Philadelphia and the surrounding counties, even into New Jersey. Bars all over Rittenhouse Square and in Fishtown.
So upper end, some places that are going to charge a little bit for their cocktails.
So listen, I think it's just raising the standards of what people expect in their drinks.
Right.
You're not going to get a $50 ribeye on a paper plate. So
I agree. When I get a cocktail, I appreciate the way that it looks. I do find some. I think that
you want the experience.
That the bartenders or the mixologists are kind of like chefs, and they're creating this little work of art, and they put some effort into it, and I like seeing that. I think that's cool.
Exactly, and so. That's what we do, and it was awesome to hear you guys talking about that, because I was kind of on that mission myself to find that perfect ice. And
it looks like you guys are nailing it.
Market.
May I ask? Noah, are these so the regular civilian who doesn't happen to own a restaurant, can they request, purchase, specify different needs they might have, and can you fill orders for the civilian purchaser?
Yeah, absolutely. We have different pricing structure for that, but we can always arrange pickup hours at our shop, or arrange delivery to the homes.
These deranged ice people.
But I'll tell you what, around the holidays, like what Kathy was talking about, to do something around the holidays, or like say you're like a big office party or something like that. Yeah, it's pretty badass.
It's impressive. Noah, where is Philadelphia Craft Ice?
Where's Philly Craft Ice? We're actually located in Ambler, so we're in Montgomery County, but we're basically in Philly every day. So
okay,
all
right,
Well,
awesome.
maybe a giant P and S.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. We have different stamps and different shapes and different molds, so we can kind of customize a cube for any event.
That's awesome.
Pretty friggin' wild.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate it, Noah. Thanks for checking in, bud.
I appreciate your time.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks,
we'll see
guys. Have a great day.
You too. Casey, I know we got to take a break, but real quick, Jenna makes marbles.
Oh.
And she's a big fan of the show. So we're doing marbles and ice. Hi, Jenna. Good morning.
Gadzooks, guys. How are you?
Gadzooks, we're wonderful. So you're a glass blower and you make marbles?
I do, yeah. I'm actually local in Philadelphia. I work right in the Neumann Fishtown.
Okay.
And I make anything from jewelry, marbles, just art pieces. I like just mixing colors, forming things, and yeah.
Are you finding that that marbles are a popular item to collect?
Not just collection, but a lot of people use them for, terp pearls and different smoking issues.
Smoking issues?
Well, if you take a dab and on the banger, you have to cover it. So a lot of people collect marbles to do that.
What language are you speaking?
You're speaking weed language.
If you take a dab, you're doing. Yeah, I smoke weed. Wait a minute, I don't know these words. What is this again?
So the piece that comes out of the glass piece that you smoke out of is called a dabber, what you actually put the resin in. And when you usually put the resin, you cover the top so that the smoke circulates in the piece.
So you use a marble for that?
A lot of people do, and they collect marbles for it.
So there's a whole other subculture being. So not only are they playing games on the beach, they're using it to toke up.
They're getting high.
Yeah. So how many? When you're doing, do you find it a creative endeavor to be artistic with marbles?
I do, because there's many different ways that you can do it. You can use crushed up glass. You can use solid glass. And a lot of people actually make. I'm sorry, I'm losing words here.
No.
They make hollow marbles too, so there's actually nothing inside. So a lot of people can put different pieces in the marbles to create an artistic piece.
Jenna, can you give out your Instagram account, please?
Yeah.
Sure, it's Glass by Tulip on Instagram, and my partner also blows glass, and he's a Lennon family glass.
Okay. So what was the name of it again? Your
Glass
Instagram?
by Tulip,
Glass by Tulip.
Okay.
all one
right.
word.
All right, we'll check that out.
We're watching a video of you working with your little. Yeah, it's very cool. Very
That's
nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, what a cool little niche.
Yeah.
Thing. One of
And
our
it's
words.
not banal.
It's not banal at all. No, it's
And
very.
the Celtics are a basketball team.
Dr. Seuss.
Very both.
All right. Thank you, Jenna. We appreciate it.
Have a good day, guys.
All right, you too. We'll see you later. Well, how about that? All kinds of interesting little fascinations that people can get into that you had no idea were even a thing. Ice cubes, marbles.
By the way, it's good to have things like that.
I agree.
It's the essence of life. It's what you. It sends you on missions. It gives you things and fun things to explore, and you can get burned on your marbles.
Well, thank you for the calls. We appreciate that. All right, we do have to take a break because when we return, we are going to have the CEO of Wawa, Chris Geison's, on with us because it's Wawa Day. 60 years ago born. We'll be back in a minute. Stay with us.
133 WMMR.
Thanks, Kath. We got a cool big freaking deal that's going on this week. You can get 2 general admission tickets for Big Kahuna's Water Park.
Whoa!
In West Berlin, New Jersey for just $35. That's 2 tickets for the price of 1. Keep in mind, the big freaking deal is almost always like 2 for 1, 50% off, something like that.
The savings are really prominent with these things.
So you can get the deal now at WMMR.com while supplies last. Just use the keyword deal when you go to WMMR.com, and you will find the big friggin' deal. It's a big friggin' deal that today is Wawa's 60th anniversary.
60 years.
Or 60th birthday. maybe.
60 birthdays.
So that's when the store, the first store opened up in Folsom, right, Case?
Yeah, right there on McDade Boulevard and Swarthmore Avenue.
Number 1. That's where Casey used to go.
As a
kid.
lad.
Growing up was number 1.
Growing up in the Highlands.
And we have number 1 at Wawa this morning joining us. He is the CEO, and we like to call him a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Chris Geison to our show.
Happy Wawa Day.
Happy Wawa Day to you, Chris. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day. We could use great weather, and no better way to celebrate 60 years.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got, you guys have some special things. We were mentioning it yesterday. I know that the National Constitution Center is free today for a certain time, right, in honor of this?
That's right. That's right. So free entry into the National Constitution Center today, and we're going to have a whole sort of history display there about Wawa, have a little fun with it. There's actually even going to be some UPenn professors there. They're going to teach and share some stories about Wawa and the work they do on positivity and kindness, believe it or not, and the connections that they've found at Wawa.
Wawa is an American success story. I mean, take us back to what was the first iteration of Wawa. We know, obviously, it involves milk deliveries and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So take us back to that earliest day.
Well, look, I won't give you the whole story, 60 years in retail, but actually the company's over 220 years old.
Wow.
There's many iterations before we actually put our first store up. But the first store, the whole genesis of it was a good outlet to sell the Wawa dairy and the milk products that the family and the dairy had. So, home delivery of milk went away. It was going away. They needed a better outlet. And so that was that store that Casey just mentioned at Folsom. The first store was really something to sell milk and to give perishable products. So that dairy and milk heritage has always been there with us. And I think that gives us an advantage because it allows us to understand fresh and perishable and has led us into the whole food business as well.
This can't help but sound like we're giving you a big, tongue bath, cat style. But the truth of the matter is we were talking about this yesterday. And how many times a week we all end up at our local Wawa. Wawa is not it, and I know it's not lost on you, Chris. It is a life aspect for most people in this area. Everyone ends up going to the Wawa. Do you have an estimation on how many times Wawas, say within a certain area, are visited? How many people go through the doors? Maybe in a certain area, because I assume it has to be astronomical.
Yeah, we know the number of if you will, transactions that happen. And we measure that really closely. We sort of are getting to know the number of individual customers that come in and then the percentage of the local population. And yeah, you're right. It's an overwhelming majority of the population shops at Wawa, especially in this area. And that makes me not be able to sleep at night because that's a big responsibility. So, but it's great. We're honored and we try to nurture that and make sure we're doing the right things every day. And the reality is our store associates are great at it. That's just what they do. They understand it's not about the big numbers. It's not about 1.5 million, cups of coffee that we'll give away today for free for Wawa Day, but it's more about that customer when they come in. Is their experience great? And as we say, is it the best 3 to 5 minutes when they're in their Wawa that they're going to have in their day? And if not, let's try to strive to make it that. So they do a great job at it. We have the best people in business.
Hey, what's the story with the free coffee? Is it everybody gets a free cup, or what happens?
Free
today?
coffee today, all day, any Wawa, and it's actually a throwback Wawa coffee cup.
Oh,
it's actually pretty cool. It's one of the originals.
Yeah,
cool design. We have 60-cent donuts. We have 60-cent Wawa juices and teas today, and and there's just a lot of fun. One of the really cool things we're doing is every store is identifying and celebrating what we call a day brightener. And so we like to think that we try to brighten days just a tiny bit when people come into our stores, again, through our associates, but we have customers that do the same thing. We have amazing customers. And so they're going to recognize them, celebrate a customer in every store today. And the stories are endless. I just got an email from a store, a long email about just this awesome customer and everything he does. He walks into the store singing every day. He connects, knows everyone by name. That's a customer doing it.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So lots of good and fun happening across every Wawa store today. But get your free coffee.
Chris, you mentioned the word honored, and how about Wawa being honored at this year's Cardboard Classic with our winning sled? You did see that, right?
I did. That was all over. Number one, the Cardboard Classic is truly a classic. That's amazing. I thought for sure that was somehow people related to Wawa because it was spot on. Right?
Yeah.
I need to hire them in our architecture and construction.
I mean, they covered everything, the minutia. But again, going back to the conversation earlier, that's how much it impacts people, that they took such loving care with it.
It's a part of people's daily lives, and it really does start to influence people in unique ways like that. And well done. They just really nailed it, and I was impressed. Yes, I had that sent to me a million times, and I was shocked at how good it looked. And I think we connected and reached out with them.
Awesome.
It was cool.
So. That's very cool. Chris, I have a two-part question. First part, how often do people ask you to bring back items that have been discontinued?
Oh.
It happens. It definitely happens. So the most popular hazelnut coffee was a bit of a issue here when we discontinued that. There's apparently a pretty rabid hazelnut coffee.
You can count me in that rank.
So that one I may have received a death threat or two around, but
okay.
And then there's certain products. So we've had home-style roast beef. There's just random products.
I remember the mac and beef.
Yes, mac and beef.
That I used to love that.
Away, it's just not a good seller usually. And
I see.
So much it's hard to keep the lower sellers or movers on the menu for long. So it happens a lot.
I understand the business side of things, but during the course of the conversation we've had with you now on the show, we've gotten several texts from people wanting certain things back. My own vote goes to the mac and cheese, specifically the buffalo chicken mac and cheese.
Buffalo chicken mac and cheese. All right, I'll be back on Monday.
All right. You'll get. I'll tell you this, and I Casey and I have been spreading the message. The Wawa pizza is damn good.
You guys should advertise that.
Yeah. The advertising hit the mark. Everyone knows Wawa has pizza. Look, I have to give a little advertising. It's $7.99 right now for a Wawa pizza if you order it in our app, and soon, when you're just in our stores. So the pizza's doing really well. It is good. People just are going to take time to think about Wawa to get a full-size pizza. It's the only product we've ever sold that's really meant for more than one person. Everything else is an individual portion. So I think that's maybe a trick or trouble for some people.
Chris, I know you mentioned, the customers and the day brighteners and all that, but also the associates, the people that work there, they can become your friends over time if you're at a regular place. And I'm going to give a plug for one that I know that Casey and I have experienced at the Wawa in Wildwood. This guy named Francisco.
Oh, yes.
Is just always happy.
He's the best.
And is in a good mood, and you feel better after you go in and you see somebody enjoying their job like that.
Yep.
That's what I love about that.
It's really cool. Is that at our Doo-Wop store?
It
Yes,
is.
it is.
Rio Grande. Yep. He's great.
Yep.
I will tell you, that's what makes our entire company, guys. It really does. We are blessed to have people that have worked and continue to work with us for 20, 30, 40 years at store level. And I attribute that because most of the people that, interact with you or serve you at a Wawa are owners. We're one of the largest employee-owned companies, and it's exactly the best way, I believe, in business is to share ownership with the people that do the hard work. So it's awesome if they stick around a long time. They're generally pretty well taken care of.
All right, can I ask a technical question? If one works for Wawa, how does one have a part owner, or how does one get, stock, for lack of a better?
You have to be 18 years old.
Okay.
You have to work. I think it starts to accrue your first year, and you have to work about 1,000 hours a year. So you have to work, about 20 hours a week, and it's free. You're going to get a contribution. We take a pretty significant portion of our profits each year. We buy Wawa stock, and we give it to our associates as a percent of their pay. So
we talked on the air, Chris, about people, and it was a real eye-opener, who were doing very well over the years, who have been career Wawa employees and have ascended in the ranks. And so you walk the walk. This is just not a PR campaign. People are definitely benefiting from your largesse.
No, it's very true. And look, I could do a whole spiel on it, but I think the blessing is the Woods family who started this generations ago. They recognized this decades ago, and they just said, look, we could keep the ownership, but the reality is sharing it with our associates is so much more important because of all the work they do. And the stories are endless. I just got a text from a former Wawa associate. He retired 10 years early because he just said the company's taking care of me so well in that ESOP that my financial advisor said I don't need to work much longer.
That's
Those
terrific.
stories are endless.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's the way it should be. So.
Well, for the 60 years today, free coffee. You might be donned a day brightener at your local store.
Yep.
And the National Constitution Center is open from 10 to 4, and there's going to be some special exhibits about Wawa and the history. And did I read there's going to be some free food around there too, or is that?
I'm sure there's free
some
stuff.
snacks.
Knowing our team, there's all kinds. They'll probably have the Wawa van down there and all kinds of free Wawa goodies. So and there's going to be about 1,000 school kids who are going to be there as well doing their trip today to help see all that and have some fun. And so it's going to be exciting down there. And again, free coffee, nothing better on the Wawa.
No.
Yes, very nice.
All right, Chris, great to talk to you. As always, continued success, sir, and we'll catch up with you again soon, okay?
Appreciate it. Happy Wawa Day, everyone.
Happy Wawa Day. Chris Geisens, the big cheese at Wawa, head honcho, and they...
It does sound kind of weird, but I mean, it's when Wawa rightfully started to expand because it's a successful company. It's run well. Obviously, Chris giving all the reasons why it is a great company, but I remember in those initial stages when it started ending up in other states, we're like,
that's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah. But it's also really cool.
It is, yeah.
When they get to experience it, we can go, we had that first.
Yeah.
We've had that. Pshaw. Tell us about that.
So we on the way to spring training in the morning, we stop in Clearwater, Florida.
Yeah.
We stop at a Wawa.
That first time that we saw that beacon at 4 o'clock in the morning as we were driving in, we're like,
oh my God.
Yes. Yes.
I know what they have.
It was great. Changed our routine. Love it. Quickly, I'm going to do a shout out, if you don't mind. This is from Tom Borgia, who says, can you please send a shout out to my awesome wife, Donna Crystal Donzi Borgia.
Wow.
Donzi is in parentheses. On her birthday on April 19th. Well, I'm doing it today.
Early.
When you can. She is an awesome person and far better woman than I deserve. Happy birthday, my beloved. From your husband, Thomas. Thank you. Thanks. Have an awesome day, guys. And here's a shout out. There you go. I love a shout out.
I love
Here's one that says, hey, it's me, Julie Jerkoff. the self-proclaimed queen of birthday shout-outs. Can you please give a quick birthday shout-out to the chat room charlatan himself, Common Sense, a.k.a. Joey? Hope you have a great birthday, Common. So grateful to call you my friend, and I appreciate your place in my life. Thanks for being you. Ray John, that's from Julie. And that's our YouTubers.
Oh, I'll give them this.
Oh, wow.
Julie Jerkoff.
All right.
Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
And then the last one says, hey, Presbo and gang, I'm going under the knife this Friday. This is from Sap Sapio.
Oh, Sap Sapio.
Yeah, to get cartilage transplant in my knee. After years of being a long-distance runner, I smashed all the cartilage in my right knee to bits, and I was on the donor list for Cadaver Cartilage, which just became available this week. That's a good band name, by the way.
Cadaver Cartilage, yeah.
It should be a pretty routine surgery, but I will be non-weight bearing on crutches for up to 2 months. And this is a giant inconvenience to my family. I won't be able to drive or help out running my kids, all their daily activities. Hoping you can give a juicy shout out to my wife, Erin, who has the patience of a saint, and the rest of the Sapp family, as they will be doing a little extra around the house for the next couple of months. And Steve, can I get a YouTube on air? For the lovely perverts and Kyle Mack in the YouTube chat. So here you go. There's a shout out and good luck to you, Sap.
That's a band name too, the Lovely Perverts.
The Lovely Perverts. Not bad at all. All right. I saw something kind of interesting I thought would be worth passing along. This was, I'm not sure where I got this article, but it was a study that was done by, what in the hell do you call this? Solitaried.
Okay.
.com.
Solitary.com.
Analyzed 67 million reviews on Google of almost 4,000 popular tourist attractions around the globe. And the study ranked the attractions based on the frequency of 11 specific keywords related to tiresome and lifeless impressions. And we give you the 10 most boring attractions ranked around the world.
All right, around the world. Let me ask you, in your travels, have you ever been massively underwhelmed by one of these legendary tourist attractions?
Trying to think if there was anything that I got to after the hype and then was like, that's it? Really? I'm sure there have been ones in my life and nothing is coming to mind. I try to find
something to connect
that
makes you appreciate it. So I will say that the importance of this thing that I'm going to mention is not lost on me and where it stands in history.
Okay.
But the Liberty Bell sucks.
I thought about it's not on this list. And I thought about the Liberty Bell being underwhelming. I think would be a proper term for that.
Right. So it's underwhelming. Where I appreciate it fully. I understand what it stands for. And I remember as a kid when we first came down from New York to visit Philadelphia and we saw it, I was like, even as a kid, I was like, oh, because you have this impression that they're gong, they're like, and it's this thing, and they get it. But when you compared to initial hype, it was like, oh.
I was perfectly whelmed with the Liberty Bell. I wasn't under or overwhelmed.
You just right amount of whelm?
Yeah, but I also went way later on in life. I was definitely in my 40s.
You'd seen some bells.
I had seen some bells. I was in my 40s, and it wasn't planned. Me and my older brother were just in the neighborhood, and he's like, you want to go check out the Liberty Bell? I'm like, I've never seen it before. So what I liked about it is that I didn't have to go through a whole bunch of stuff to get there.
Yeah.
I didn't have to wait through a whole bunch of crowds. I mean, we went at a time of the day where it wasn't that bad, and we just walked right in.
That was not me.
Walked up to the Liberty Bell, touched it, saw it. I was like, this is a pretty cool piece of history, and then I was out.
Steve, one year in middle school, the class field trip was to Washington, D.C. We got to go to the Air and Space Museum. It was fantastic. The following year was U.S. history and Independence Hall and the Liberty Bell. And I just remember in my 7th and 8th grade brains comparing the Air and Space Museum with rockets and the Bell X-1 to the Liberty Bell just sitting there. And I'm like,
You know what, though? And again, so we're talking about locations around the globe. But so if you're taking something just on things I'm very excited. Smithsonian in general can do that depending on where your day, how long you've been at the Smithsonian. Like I remember getting in front of the Hope Diamond and going, yeah, that's great. let's move along.
A number of texts are coming in saying Plymouth Rock.
Plymouth Rock is
Never seen it.
I've seen it. Yeah.
There's not a lot to it. It's like it's kind of off. Like there's a balcony up above it, Preston. And you look down and it's sort of sectioned off. and it's just a rock in the ocean. It's not like it's big or impressive. And
were you a bit underwhelmed by the Blarney Stone?
Well, and people texted in about that. I was not really, because
you were in pain.
Well, I was in a lot of pain from falling down the stairs, but I thought that the castle was pretty cool.
Castle was awesome.
So the stone itself is a part of the castle, so therefore I wasn't really underwhelmed by that. I'm glad we went.
The castle was awesome. Yeah, we love that.
But some people are saying, that are texting in thinking that it was kind of stupid. And
a lot of people don't realize you have to lay on your back, lean out, be kind of over a ledge.
Yep, and hang.
And you kiss it from, you kiss basically its taint.
Kind of like
You're
that.
kissing the castle's taint.
Yeah, so I wasn't upset about that particular one. I'm going to read some of these on these lists, and then we can take some of these texts, because there are a lot of people that are texting in. And there is one in our general area that made it in the top 15, but the top 10 are, number 10 is Legoland Discovery. Legoland Discovery Center in Toronto.
I've never been.
Number 9 is Legoland Discovery Center in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Well, that seems unfair.
I think the Legolands are cool.
And twice in one list. I mean, how different can one Legoland be from the other?
Number 8 is Shrek's Adventure in London.
So that was built in 1500.
Oh, I did not know the history of that. Number 7 is the Museum of Science and Industry in Tampa, Florida. Never been there. Couldn't tell you. Adler Planetarium in Chicago.
Number 6. They don't have a telescope. Yeah.
What's the one thing we forgot? It's a cool-looking building. You can see it right out on Lake Michigan, but I've never been there. Number 5, Lego Discovery Center in Atlanta.
What's with Lego?
This person does not like Legos.
They must work for Lincoln Logs.
This is according to 67 million reviews on Google, Nick.
Jesus.
And 4,000 popular, of almost 4,000 popular tourist
Has anyone here ever been to a Legoland?
Yeah, they're cool. Preston, you've
Yeah.
they're cool, but they're not overwhelmingly awesome.
Right.
It's cool.
Would you rather go to like a Lego, like the thing in Plymouth Meeting, like the Lego Playland?
That's what we're talking
That's
about.
what we're talking about.
Oh, but that
These aren't
really?
the amusement parks. These are
I thought these were like amusement.
Discovery
That's what
Center. But what's
Yeah,
great...
the Discovery Center is the thing in the
Yeah.
Plymouth Meeting Mall.
Is it?
And I think the other reason is because it's for little kids. Once what you age out of it.
And Kathy, it's so economical.
Cheap.
It's expensive. Then you have number 4 is the Salem Witch Museum in Salem, Massachusetts.
I've been there. I thought it was pretty cool.
Did you?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Number 3 is the Jurassic. Do we have a 3?
No, we had a 4. I missed it.
sorry.
Number 4.
Is then number 3.
-1.
The Jurassic Jungle Boat Ride in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Dollywood.
Is that Dollywood?
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently it's
well,
underwhelming.
actually, no. Like Dollywood is in Pigeon Forge, but then there are a ton of. It's almost like the American side of Niagara Falls there, Preston. Like up and down the street, there's this type of thing, Jurassic Hole or whatever.
Nick, what was just mentioned? Was it yesterday? Pigeon Forge came up again.
Yeah, we were talking about something else.
Oh, is OJ's Bronco?
That's right.
Bronco,
That's
yeah.
it.
And it's same thing. It's like a Ripley's Museum, and so they stuck OJ's Bronco in there.
All right. Number 2 is Illumination Atlanta.
Illumination
It's
Atlanta.
like Illumination Studios, like the Minions and Gru.
I don't know. And then number 1 is the. We have number 1?
We don't.
Okay. Number 1.
There you go.
Why don't we have it?
The Branson Scenic Railway in Branson, Missouri.
So you leave the Jimmy Osmond concert, hop on the train.
Yep, and that's it.
Yeah, and if you just finish your dinner, it's 3:00 in the afternoon.
Number 15, the only one I saw in Pennsylvania, lands at number 15, and I've been to this. It's the Hershey Story Museum, which is not
Where's
Chocolate
that?
World.
Yeah, where's that?
It's in downtown Hershey. And I went in there, and they've got like old carriages and things like that Milton
pretty
Hershey
good.
had used. I didn't find it boring. I didn't think it was all that interesting. But if especially if you've watched when you stay at one of their properties and you watch the film
The History Channel.
that runs nonstop about Milton Hershey, then you're kind of like, oh, that's worth checking out. It was okay, but I've probably been to more boring things in my life. Hang on a second, real quick. We have a couple of calls. First of all, I'm going to go to Stacy. Stacy, are you calling in about the boring locations?
No, I'm not.
What are you calling in about?
I want $1,000.
She got a little dipsy-doo. Yeah.
Little dipsy-doo.
Stacy, you're a winner of Good Money It. That's awesome. Congratulations. Where are you from, Stacy?
I'm from Philly.
Are you working today or you got the day off?
I'm working today. I am in the office right now.
Oh,
man.
Good for you.
Yes. Better day for you now.
Yeah. Why don't you go spit in the boss's face and say, I'm out of here?
I don't have to work another day in my...
Oh, maybe you do. I'm sorry. It's $1,000. It's a nice little chunk of change. Nice. Stacy, have you played along with the contest for a little while now or any of our other cash contests?
I have. I've been playing for a couple different contests for a couple different months. So I'm very, very excited.
It's paid off. We're very happy to hear about that. Excellent. Stacy, thank you for listening and for your your fandom, your diehard MMRness. We give you $1,000. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It is our pleasure. Nice. Next shot is coming up at noon, Pipples.
Yes.
So make sure you don't miss it. At 10. Hey, we have another one.
Oh, my. Because it's later on in the show.
It was so late in the show, I thought,
there you go. I fell right into that same trap.
We have one in 25 minutes.
It's a trap.
All right, hang on a second. Let me go to Stephen. We were talking about boring attractions here. Hi, Stephen. Good morning.
Where'd you get that hat, Kenny?
Very good. A little big dog tribute. Stephen, what did you think was underwhelming when you saw it?
When I was in high school, I took a field trip to the Smithsonian American History Museum in D.C. And on display there, they have the Star-Spangled Banner, the flag that flew over Fort McHenry.
Yeah,
right.
Old Glory.
Based off of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on display there. The thing is, you don't have a lot of time with it. It's like a constantly moving line, and you go and you look at this very dimly lit flag. You're not allowed to take pictures of it, and it's like 20 seconds, and you're done.
Yeah, I assume they keep the lights low because the lights would eventually wear down the fabric and everything, so they got to make sure it's preserved. So you say underwhelming.
I feel the same way that you feel, Steve, about the Liberty Bell. I'm not going to completely negate the history behind it.
Yeah.
I just wish that there was a better way that they were presenting it.
Yeah. Okay. No, I hear you.
A little bit more time with it.
Yeah, I agree about the Liberty Bell. I get it. The impact is not lost on me. Yeah.
I was kind of in awe of Old Glory. I thought that was pretty incredible that they were able to save that exact one, and they meticulously care for it over the years.
Do they ever let it sign autographs?
Not when I was there.
Okay.
No, it was they moved us along just like he had said. So, but no, it does suck when you get somewhere, you're anticipating it, and you're now on the other side of this type of thing. I have seen like TripAdvisor reviews for things like, and we've talked about this before, Old Faithful. That was like that was it.
Yeah.
Boy, what a waste of time. And I feel like hitting those people. I feel like smacking them in the face saying, this is a natural
Do you know what's going
on? They didn't turn on a switch for you to see how awesome this is. This is nature creating this. And its timeliness is what's incredible about it.
To know the context of something can certainly help, and what you're looking at. Yeah. That can certainly help.
I think one thing where context helps too, Steve, is the Mona Lisa. People often underrate it because they're like, oh, it's this tiny little thing. Yeah, it's a small painting, but understand the history behind it. I don't quite get why the crowds surround it the way that they do. It's not a giant painting, but it's still
the Mona Lisa.
It's still the Mona Lisa,
Yeah.
and just have a little bit of respect for
freaking Mona Lisa.
What made it so famous? Do you know offhand?
The sort of the perfection behind it. Also, like you read Da Vinci Code, right?
Yeah.
So, like the mystery that went into actually painting of it. Is it a self-portrait of Da Vinci? Is it him painting like the Pope? Is it are there hidden meanings within it? And then like the perfection of her smile, the perfection of the proportions, and the fact that it was Da Vinci who's done so many other genius things.
You saw what they recently discovered is that in the fabric of her garment that she's wearing, in Italian of the age, it says "No sad, bro."
Oh my God! I didn't know.
Yeah.
See,
Oh
I
my
thought
God.
that was us.
I thought we were the original.
All right. I'm going to go to Ian. Ian, morning, bud.
Gadzooks, guys.
Gadzooks, buddy. All right, what's up?
I've been on that Pigeon Fork ride. Jurassic Park.
Yes.
It is the worst thing in the world.
Like, not even, is it?
Of it. Dude, they had trash bags on pterodactyl.
So the pterodactyl wings are like trash bags?
Yeah, dude. Like, the whole pterodactyl's trash bag. You got a brontosaurus that's like plastic wrapped. Oh my God, I have pictures of this crap It's so bad.
How much do they charge for it?
I think it was like $25 per person.
Oh, my God.
So you've heard of this, the people talking about the Willy Wonka ripoff thing that was over in the United Kingdom. So like it was just the cheapest looking thing. This is on that level?
Oh, my God. Yeah, absolutely. So, I'll email you pictures.
Yeah, please.
Of this place.
Yeah, I want to see that.
All right, thanks,
my
bud.
God, it is so freaking bad, though. It was the worst thing I have literally ever been on.
All right, we're going to have to find video of that. Thank you, Ian.
gotta check
Appreciate
that
it.
out.
All right, now I wonder if people are just sending this in for fun.
What?
Because here's one that says the Louvre sucks, another one says the Grand Canyon sucks.
Oh, come on. Get
No,
the hell out of
I'm
here.
sorry. I mean, people are entitled to believe what they want to believe. That's fine if you're not impressed by that. I don't know. I would think the most stalwart detractor, once they stood on the edge of even your sub-level views of the Grand Canyon, would have to overwhelm you.
Yeah. Here's the thing about the Louvre. It is exhausting. It's huge.
Yeah.
There are a lot of wings to it. So, and I definitely get museum fatigue. If I'm in a museum for more than like 2 hours.
I'm bad enough.
Yeah, I can't appreciate incredible works of art any longer.
Nick, that's exactly, that encapsulates it perfect. In the first half hour, you're stopping at every single one. You're taking in the details. You're breaking it down with whoever you're there with. Yeah. And then at some point, you're walking by a Rembrandt and going, there's another painting.
That looks cool.
This guy sucks.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't like that one.
Yeah, paint more parks, loser.
You'll see me like fast talking. They're like, is she exercising?
Kathy, what were your impressions of the Grand Canyon? Because you visited last year.
Yeah, it was breathtaking. It was, that person, I think, didn't go to the actual Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Said that.
Someone just told them that was the Grand Canyon, whatever it was they were looking at. Because how can you?
It was a sewage treatment plant.
Yeah. This is it?
Smell.
What's the big deal?
Where are the mules?
This place smells horrible. Yeah, but it can, okay, so there's one that we went to in Copenhagen, and
they have a Grand Canyon?
No, they're not a Grand Canyon. They have, the thing to see is the Little Mermaid statue.
Oh, yes.
Right. And so we had a tours by locals, a guide who was going to take us around town, and we were like, is there anything you want to see or don't want to see? And I was like, well, I read that the Little Mermaid statue is kind of lame, but Rochelle and the couple that we were with, like, yeah, but it's kind of the thing to see, so we should go by there. And once we got there, and it's this cute little statue on a rock in the water, right out there in the ocean. And we were taking a picture of it. We're like, all right, we'll get a picture of this. And then later on, I come to find out there is no historical significance to it. I think it's literally the Little Mermaid.
No.
I think, Nick, it was based on Ariel.
It was based on the Hans Christian Andersen story, and then eventually that turned into the Disney story.
I thought maybe there was some more significance to it. So I thought that was a little underwhelming, but I guess I'm kind of glad we went to it.
Did you climb out there?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
you can.
We leaned up next to it. I mean, it's not out in the water. It's on the shore.
Yeah, right. So I didn't know if you went out and tried to kiss her or something.
No, I didn't feel
up
or anything like that.
You should have.
Did you look for a vagina?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, where would that be? It's in the butt.
Top of the head.
Like a porpoise.
That's right.
Yeah.
You skull effer.
I'm curious as to what the actual story of Little Mermaid is before it got Disneyfied.
You probably know it as Monster Truck.
Okay. That movie?
Yeah. That's the original story.
I will go to Maria next. Hi, Maria. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Wonderful. Maria, was there something you were underwhelmed by?
Oh, Mount Rushmore.
People have mentioned that. I thought it. I thought it was very cool. One thing that does impress you, though, when you go to the observation site, the classic one where everyone is, it appears smaller than you might have perceived it as being. It's in the distance, obviously.
I
but
thought it was at the end of this massive field and this majestic mountain. We were driving to our hotel and we passed it. I was like, there's Mount Rushmore. You could see it from the road.
Right.
We're like, oh, okay.
Well, yeah, there's sort of some people have said the same thing about Stonehenge, but I'm impressed by all that stuff. I don't know. I thought Mount Rushmore was pretty cool.
You thought it was boring, Maria?
Well, I mean, it was impressive because of the carving and, with that detail, but I just expected this big, huge mountain of it, and it's just, literally you could see it from the highway.
Yeah. You can see a lot of things from the highway that are pretty big.
Right. Thank you, Maria. I mean, it's still pretty big. I mean, like you can climb up. A man can climb up in the
You
nostril.
could hold a wedding in Lincoln's nostril.
Yeah. So it's not tiny, but I guess some people think it's the size of an entire mountain.
The other sculpture in that area, the other Crazy Horse is that's a full side
It's
of it.
big.
Yeah,
and it's not finished.
No, it's way. They
working on
had
it.
just when I was a kid and I was 13 when we went out there. They had just started working on it.
On his
And,
left nut.
And there was they didn't get down that far.
But it's all by hand, right? There's no dynamite, I don't think, involved. And
I don't know about that.
The way that they crafted Mount Rushmore, it was done a lot more quickly, but the Crazy Horse Monument's taken a lot longer because a lot of it is being done by hand, if not all of it.
Do you know a lot of people who are working on that, Kathy, are involved in the ice decoration movement?
I want to say that Mount Rushmore could have fit on Crazy Horse's forehead.
I think you're right.
And it's
In
supposed
fact,
to
that's
be
the plan.
The whole top of they're going to move eventually. What is that tattoo on his forehead?
That's Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore.
Sucker.
Oh. Hang on, another quick one. We got to take a break here in just a second. I'm going to go to Danielle. Hi, Danielle.
Hey guys, Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, what's up?
Oh man, so I'm just got to tell you about this place in Florida. If you've ever been down there and don't want to go to Disney World, you got to check out Gatorland.
Is that where'd you go, Case?
Not Gatorland.
No,
I just went
he
to a
would
park.
refuse to go.
Oh,
to
you
Gatorland.
refuse. Okay, so
Yeah.
so Gatorland underwhelming, Danielle.
So it is like the most redneck pond that they call an amusement park, and it's just a ton of gators just laying there in like muddy water. And you walk in, and they're like, "Yeah, we're going to check out some gators," and it's so lame. But we just had to visit because we heard all the hype.
Sure.
in somebody's backyard.
Are you the kind of person who also loves the kitschy sort of low rent roadside attraction as well? Because there's a place. Yeah, I mean, they got like the way the Jurassic Park thing was. We were hearing from Ian. If it's so super cheap that you're just being ripped off, that's not fun.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there was no element of success.
There was literally no element of any life achievement whatsoever.
Enjoy.
Yes. Yeah. I hear you. Yeah.
Thanks, Danielle. Appreciate it. All right. Anyway, we can't go to the call. Mike on the line says Cadillac Ranch, and I think you guys are kind of underwhelmed by that, right, Case?
Yeah, we went twice. It was fine. I didn't. Well, I mean, again.
That's natural, though.
I was perfectly whelmed. I wasn't under or overwhelmed because I had never really gone there before or seen it before. I was just so excited to drive across the country, and it was fun to spray paint. The only thing pissed me off about Cadillac Ranch is we spray painted the one Cadillac. I guess there's 9 that are there, and it's not like there were a ton of people there. But we spray painted like MMR rocks or whatever. I walk away and I come back, and then there's some dude spray painting
over it
penis on it. And I was like, you had so many places to choose from, and you went to the freshest. Yeah, it pissed me right off.
Dumbass.
I waited for him to leave, and I spray painted over his penis.
I spray painted
over his penis.
By the way, this study found that museums comprised 1/3 of the most boring attractions. And it was also found that Georgia ranked number 1 as the state with the most boring attractions, according to reviews.
All right.
So I will say this is that I agree with you. I'm good for about an hour at a museum.
At a museum. And then
and then I really start to tank quickly, unless it is a specific, like the Air and Space Museum is, where you're just, it's just home run after home run.
Or there's interactive stuff.
Or there's interactive stuff.
Like at Franklin Institute.
But and I appreciate art. I appreciate the artists. I appreciate the classics. But I don't care how devastatingly amazing it is. I'll get bored.
Yep, I agree. All right, anyhow, thank you for your calls. We do appreciate it. We need to take a break and come back in a moment because we got money to give away. We just had a $1,000 winner.
Yes!
Let's get another one. It is Good Money It, and we'll have it when we come back. Stay with us. Comment. Weezer on 93.3 WMMR. Their take on the Toto Classic, Africa, the Preston and Steve Show. It is 1 minute after 10 o'clock. So I think that before we get our final look at traffic, we had better take care of some business, people.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia. It's time for a Good Money It keyword.
That word would be precious. And you spell it Precious. 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 You have until 15 minutes after the hour to enter that. There are 3 ways for you to do it. WMMR.com, the MMR app, or you can text it to the special contest short code number, which is 45911. And one random entry wins $1,000 in the company-wide contest. Each winner gets a call from Beasley. Make sure you answer your phone. Contest rules are at WMMR.com, and it's brought to you by McLaughlin Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. So again, the word is precious, Precious. Enter it now. Let's see if you win $1,000. Let's get our final look at traffic. So, Kathy, what do we have going on now?
A lot of
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Natural Lawn of America. And Natural Lawn has been creating green lawns quickly, more naturally, and with fewer weeds since 1987. Get free seeding every year. You can call 800-FREE-SEED now. This was a pretty wild story, and I saw the video of this. A couple in California is detailing the terrifying turn of events when a tow truck tried to tow them while they were driving through downtown San Francisco earlier
I saw
week.
this.
According to Joanne, she just provided her first name. She said, "We are at a stoplight and minding our own business." She described running errands with her husband Tuesday morning while the couple was stopped. They thought the yellow specialty towing truck was moving toward a nearby Waymo autonomous vehicle, but soon it was getting too close for comfort. She said, "He came in from the side. I thought he was turning right. He started to reverse. All the lights came on, and that's when we were like, wait, something's going on here." His lever was coming down. In video taken by a witness, the tow truck can be seen making several attempts to hook on to their 2017 Toyota Corolla while they're in it and driving at that point. I mean, they were at a stoplight.
Wait, what?
A witness can be heard screaming on the video, "What the F are you doing?" When the light turns green, the Waymo next to Joanne and her husband drove off. The couple then realized that they were stuck in front of a black sedan. She said, "We were freaking out. The first instinct was to get away. Fortunately, the black car backed up a little bit. Joanne's husband is able to drive away, and the tow truck then chased after them for several blocks."
It's insane.
Joanne said it was definitely really scary. She looks back at the incident and wonders what would have happened if the tow truck was successful in hooking up their car. The company, along with two others, were charged in February for fraud and illegally towing parked cars.
Yeah, parked cars. If you're going to be a criminal, tow parked cars.
Specialty towing is now prohibited from bidding or receiving city contracts. Joanne and her husband said they were eventually able to lose the tow truck and they drove back home. They maintained they didn't do anything wrong and are still perplexed as to why the guy wanted to tow them in the first place.
I like that car.
Joanne is planning to file a police report soon and is sharing their story to raise awareness for other drivers. But it's just insane, man. We've seen here firsthand.
Oh, yeah.
In this town, how predatory some of the tow truck drivers can be.
Gunfights.
Yeah. One man is lucky that he wasn't seriously injured or killed after crashing his vehicle in Rossland, British Columbia, while reaching for a piece of fried chicken. An officer responded to reports of a single vehicle crash on Highway 3. When the officer arrived on scene, he quickly located the smashed vehicle and the man who was behind the wheel.
I'm gonna have to find in this guy's favor because fried chicken's very good.
The officer said his vehicle had sustained serious front-end damage after colliding with a concrete barricade, and it needed to be towed from the scene. The man allegedly confessed to the officer that he was reaching for a piece of fried chicken just before he smashed into the barrier. To make matters worse for the driver, he was also handed a $598 ticket after the officer who attended the accident discovered that his vehicle's insurance had already expired.
Oops.
A teenager used a can of beans during a sword fight to fend off an attacker in England.
Fought off someone with a sword using a can of beans.
Yeah.
They're a magical fruit.
Alwire Gabus chose the British food staple as his weapon of choice despite carrying knives and machetes. He can be seen hurling the can to defend himself and his friend at MJ Food Store in Birmingham. While other customers ran for safety, Gabus handed his friend a machete from his bag, which I don't know why he had it, and then he went for the can of beans.
I'm going to eat these quickly. Hold them back.
The prosecutor, Will Dudley, told Birmingham Crown Court as the defendant and the companion were leaving the shop, they were approached or ran after by an unknown male, and that unknown male was wielding a large machete. What then ensued was a little short of a sword fight between the unknown male and the defendant's companion, while the defendant threw various items at groceries at the pair of them.
Getting clocked by a can of beans would hurt like a mother.
It would hurt.
Yeah.
In the shop was a 13-year-old schoolboy who ran in fear, and the shopkeeper himself literally cowered under the desk.
He could be like a fecal version of Popeye.
Gavis asked his friend, who sustained an injury to his leg, to hide the knife until emergency services arrived. He was convicted of 3 counts of possession of a bladed article and 1 offense making threats.
I want the knife.
With a knife.
Please.
A 49-year-old.
I want the knife.
A 49-year-old woman told deputies that she didn't realize she was driving around on 3 tires on Monday.
Are there any sound indicators?
Officials arrested Anna Louise Keller after receiving multiple 911 calls reporting that she was driving a dark gray Nissan Rogue recklessly with no passenger side front tire. Deputies spotted Keller driving south. Deputies conducted a traffic stop to do a welfare check, and when they spoke to Keller, they smelled alcohol. She admitted to drinking and told deputies that she was unaware that the tire was missing.
I think when you lose another tire at that point, that's when it really kicks in.
Keller failed
it doesn't seem right.
A field sobriety test and had unsteady, bloodshot eyes. Her breath alcohol concentration was 0.160. Deputies found 4 empty Busch Light beers in a bag on the passenger side of the SUV with a receipt showing a purchase date of that same day. She was arrested. All right, and then we'll do one more story and we will wrap it up. Let's end with this one. 2 men, this is terrible, at Lake Mead National Recreation Area have been caught on video destroying protected rock formations.
I saw this footage. It is so disgusting. And these guys are such goons.
Which has sparked outrage from both officials and visitors. Public Information Officer John Haynes condemned the act, calling it a personal attack on nature that can't be undone.
And they had just come from filling in the Grand Canyon.
In the video, a girl can be heard screaming, "Daddy, don't fall," as 2 men push chunks of red stone off the edge of a formation at the federally protected site. Though the men haven't been charged, they could reportedly face 6 months in jail and a $5,000 fine. So the dude was there with his daughter while doing this. What an idiot. What a goober. Wow.
Exactly.
And that's what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right. That magic word that could get you $1,000 is precious. And you have about 5 minutes left to enter that. So make sure that you do it. PRECIOUS is how you spell precious. And you can enter that through the MMR app or at WMMR.com or text it to 45911. But you do need to do it now if you want your chance to win. We'll take a break, come back in a second. Other things to give away with lesson question. We'll also get to the trash and music news. So stay with us.
Yeah.
Sleep Theory and local shots artist Jersey Calling all on board. And then we have the Preston and Steve Show side stage, which will eventually get all filled up at live band karaoke. I believe that Sidearm is back on board for that, and DJ Jackie Bam Bam spinning some stuff. So details at WMMR.com. Let's get you there. Today's lesson question, the prize. We are going to give away a 4-pack of tickets for Monster Energy AMA Supercross. Saturday, April 27th at Lincoln Financial Field. And I think we'll go with this. What 3-word phrase is secretly inscribed into the shawl of the Mona Lisa? 215-263 WMMR. If you heard that earlier and you know, then you are qualified to win. What 3-word phrase is secretly inscribed into the shawl of the Mona Lisa? 215-263 WMMR. Call now.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
And it's brought to you by Mini Melts of America. Breaking ice cream news. You can get Mini Melts ice cream delivered right to your door, and you can do it on the Wawa app. You're just a few clicks away from enjoying your favorite Mini Melts flavor. Download the Wawa app today. What's up this morning, Steve?
Well, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce made a surprise appearance at Coachella Saturday night. The two were on hand to support Swift's collaborators, Jack Antonoff and Ice Spice, and make anything they did seem trivial by comparison.
Hey!
Yay!
Suki Waterhouse surprised Coachella fans during her set on Saturday by announcing she had a baby girl with Rob Pattinson. Just to clarify, the audience was surprised that she thought they would care.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And finally, William Shatner appearing on Real Time, revealing that the first ever interracial television kiss between Captain Kirk and Lieutenant Uhura only happened because he insisted on it. Shatner went on to say that the network eventually put their foot down when he wanted the first ever interracial motorboating.
Wow.
And that's your Hollywood Trash.
All right, we shall see if you know the answer. What 3-word phrase is secretly inscribed into the shawl of the Mona Lisa? 215-263 WMMR. We have Benny who's going to answer. Hi, Benny. Morning, bud.
Good morning, guys.
All right, Benny, what 3-word phrase is secretly inscribed into the shawl of the Mona Lisa?
No sad bro.
That is correct. No sad bro. Yep, hang on the line. We'll get your information, and we are going to give you a 4-pack of tickets for the Monster Energy AMA Supercross Saturday, April 27th at Lincoln Financial Field. Experience the intense action of the world's most demanding sport live and in person. Visit supercrosslive.com for more info. So bye-bye, Benny. We're going to do music news.
Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Yeah. All right, brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. You can go to phillysportstrips.com right now and put your small refundable deposit down to go to spring training next March with us. phillysportstrips.com. We have a couple things. We have a little piece of audio. Steve, you sent this over, and I did not listen to this yet, and I want to check this out. So we have Paul McCartney and John Lennon's sons, James McCartney and Sean Ono Lennon, teaming up for a new song.
It's a small snippet. I'd like to hear more of it, but you judge.
All right,
I'll tell you what I felt after it.
Primrose Hill. So we only have 10 seconds of this. So let's listen to this and see what this is all about.
Always remember Primrose Hill, Primrose Hill.
Not bad.
I'm intrigued.
A little too early to tell just from that tiny bit, but it sounds pretty good.
I'd like to hear the rest of it.
You know what? Sean had an album that he did with, I believe it was Les Claypool, and it sounds like the Beatles when they were in kind of the Magical Mystery Tour psychedelia phase. And
I've heard
it is
stuff, yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah. So
I loved it.
I've been hearing some of his stuff, and it might have been some of that, Preston, that I heard, and I thought exactly the same sort of like even a little instant karma sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's wild.
So, Steve, on James McCartney's YouTube page, he posted the whole song.
Oh, okay.
So you can listen to all of Primrose Hill now.
Okay. So thought we'd share that with you. CBS has issued an apology regarding the error of cutting the Billy Joel concert special short. Joel's social media channel shared CBS's statement and began saying a network programming timing error ended last night's Billy Joel special approximately 2 minutes early in the Eastern and Central time zones. We apologize to Mr. Joel, his fans, our affiliated stations, and our audience whose viewing experience was interrupted during the last song, which, by the way, was Piano Man.
Sing us a song, you're the...
There you go. It's like, do you remember when Live 8, the very first time they did that, and they were doing it in Philadelphia and in London?
Yes.
And it was on MTV, and Pink Floyd had gotten back together. And it was in the middle of the guitar solo for Comfortably Numb,
which is
MTV cut out of it.
The most iconic. Yes, I clearly remember that. There have been moments in history where that's one of the biggest ones. Yep. One of the other ones was cutting away from the end of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, for Heidi. Yep, that was back in the 60s.
Yeah. That wasn't the Super Bowl.
No, that was just
it wasn't the Super Bowl. It was a game.
It was a Monday night game or
playoff
whatever.
game or something.
No,
not a Super Bowl.
Was it?
It was just a regular season game, but there was a crazy comeback that happened at the end of the game.
Ah, that's what it was.
They missed that, yeah.
That was a teaching lesson.
Yes.
A teaching moment.
They wouldn't have cut away from this.
But they had,
we're cutting away from the Super Bowl to start Heidi.
For the Live 8 thing, it was wild because, I mean, MTV had moved on to a bit of a younger audience than the standard Pink Floyd audience, but, come on. It's iconic, and they should have known. So anyhow, CBS's statement concluded saying, due to the overwhelming demand from his legion of fans, Billy Joel, the 100th Live at Madison Square Garden will be rebroadcast in its entirety on CBS on April 19th. So
well, there
they're
you
going to
go.
do it again.
They made such a big deal about it.
Yep. So it'll be 9 p.m.
It's a great
that
song.
Comes on. It was set to air from 9 to 11 p.m. However, the conclusion of the Masters pushed the special back.
There we go.
To make matters even worse, the live sports event led to Joel's special being cut off at 11 p.m. in order for local news to air on schedule. And it was in the middle of this song.
It's not.
So I assume that was the closing song, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think this is I have two more stories. Did a Hall & Oates breakup really happen? Well, John Oates spoke at length to Rolling Stone about the ongoing tension between him and Daryl Hall. Asked whether Hall and Oates are effectively over, Oates said, "You can ask Daryl the same question, but yes, as far as I'm concerned, I've moved on."
I don't want to talk to you.
The formerly
He sounds much different when he speaks.
mustachioed half of one of music's most successful duos also noted that the pandemic helped him step back and re-examine what he wants to do with his career.
I'm incredibly sad to hear this because they've toured over the years. I used to love they were doing the Hoagie Fest. They were the anchor band, and I've seen them many times. Love those guys.
Oates talked about how much he enjoyed doing more philanthropic music work, like partnering with Feeding America for a charity live stream. He also touched on how it was, quote, no longer interesting to continue playing the same hits as he's done for decades. While he says those songs will live forever, he did admit, I just wanted to do something else. He doesn't rule out performing with Hall at some point down the road or potentially mending their lengthy friendship. He said that he would never say anything negative about Daryl.
Did he say whether he wanted to fight him or kiss him?
But he also said neither.
I want to fight you.
I want to kiss you. Well, they're at an impasse right now. Yeah.
Not a lot of middle ground on that.
No, it was the direct opposite.
Yeah.
I want to fight you.
I want to kiss you.
You'd think they'd be able to work it out.
But he also said the two of them differ personally and professionally and that they both deserve to be allowed to do whatever they want to do.
Listen to the Beatles song, We Can Work It Out.
And then finally, Slash has released the latest preview of his upcoming solo album, Orgy of the Damned. We're going to play a clip here. The preview is a cover of Fleetwood Mac's Oh Well, featuring Chris Stapleton singing on it.
Interesting.
It sounds pretty good. Here we go.
Can't help about the shape I'm in. I can't sing, I ain't pretty, and my legs are thin. Don't ask me what I think of you. I might not give the answer that you want me to.
I've always dug this song.
It's a great song.
Yeah. Great tune.
I've become more and more of a Chris Stapleton fan over the last few months.
He was really good on SNL.
He was.
Yeah.
And I was very, very late to the game for Tennessee Whiskey, his big hit from a few years ago. But it ended up on my Instagram feed. I'm like, all right, I got to listen to this a little bit more. And big fan.
Okay. Slash talked about recruiting Stapleton for the track. He said, when I was doing this record, the song is a riff I've always wanted to do, and his voice came to mind. And I thought his kind of delivery with that song would be so cool. So Stapleton had once opened for Guns N' Roses on a handful of shows, but the GNR guitarist wasn't able to connect with the country star at the time. Instead, Slash said that he had to cold call Stapleton about working with him. And he said, fortunately, he knew who I was. Orgy of the Damned
Hold for Slash
comes out on May 17th and is available for pre-order in a variety of formats via GibsonRecords.com. And that's all I have in music news for you this morning. All right, let us take one more break. When we return, letter of the day, word of the week, we will get to it. So stay put because we'd like you to win that prize. We'll be right back.
Preston.
Pretty Reckless on 93.3 WMMR. Love having them as MMRBQ artists from time to time. They put on a hell of a show. And we have more great artists coming up this year. I've already told you about that this morning. You can go to WMMR.com should you fancy the information and want to get some tickets. It's 10:43. It is an absolutely stunningly beautiful Tuesday morning, which is great because I think Tuesday is kind of a sucky day of the week.
Yes.
It's just, you're just getting started and too far away from no sad bro.
A lot of people complain about Wednesday or Monday Tuesday, I think, deserves a little bit of scorn.
Yeah, and I think having days like this definitely help out. So
yeah,
should be very, very nice. And we have to give away our Tattoosday prize because we had people text in all morning long the word tattoo. Try and win a Preston and Steve Show themed tattoo, and we got a winner. I would like to congratulate Tom Ripko. So he is from Percy. And we're going to give him a $350 gift certificate for Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. And you can find them at 1729 South Street in Philadelphia. The fine folks at Floating World have been helping us out for quite a while now. And you can check out their artwork samples by going to floatingworldtattoos.com. Or they have an Instagram page. You can search for them at Floating World Tattoos and see all the good stuff that they can do for you. I would like to thank our guest on the program today, the CEO of Wawa, Chris Geisen.
Yeah.
Chris is a super nice guy, and he runs a wonderful company, and today is Wawa Day. It's 60 years old today. That's when the first store opened. The dairy has been around for even longer.
A couple hundred years.
Yeah, 1902. I think is when, or maybe it was longer than that.
Well, you said 1902 yesterday when you were talking about the dairy farm being purchased, but Chris was talking today about how the iteration that, it all started a couple of hundred years ago, and I don't know in what form that was.
I did have a moment this morning, Preston, which you've had in the past, where I got the free coffee at Wawa on my drive into work, and I was like, "Well, I must be special today." And
they know who I am.
Listen, let's just cut to the chase. Would you like an autograph?
I just thought that the lady was being nice, and she was being nice, but it wasn't just being nice to me.
And a gadzooks to you.
Free coffee today at Wawa, and free admission at the National Constitution Center in honor of that till I think like 4 o'clock today. So it was cool having Chris on. Pierre is here. Hey, man.
Good day, kids.
It's got to be stunningly beautiful out today. It looks like it. We've been looking out the window all morning long.
A titch of a nip in the air, but I suspect that will leave as the temperature continues to rise.
Probably.
Great city comedy team, Nip and Titch.
Nip and Titch. I saw them. I got my chops from them. They taught me karate.
All right. Not comedy.
Besides the Borscht Belt, they also ran a martial arts school.
They did Nip and Titch. They are, well, there's Abbott and Costello, Rowan and Martin.
Yes.
They all owe it to Nip and Titch.
They owe everything to Nip and Titch.
Is there a chance that you could grace us with a few moves this morning that we can see your martial arts prowess?
Or your favorite Nip and Titch joke?
Well, Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack jump over the candlestick, said Nip. Titch said, no, wait.
Oh, you killed the pun.
Titch said, great balls of fire.
That's good. Yeah. You got to come from the old country to understand.
Yeah.
Right.
When he jumped over the candlestick and his nuts caught on fire.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's all you get.
Hilarious.
You get what you get.
And now a karate move.
You get what you get. Letter of the day.
Sure.
All right.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter.
O as in onion.
All right.
Pierre pointed to his head. It's all up here. It's all right there. All right, we're going to give away a 4-pack of front row tickets and pit party passes. This is MMR Rocks Monster Jam Saturday, May 4th. It's going to be at Lincoln Financial Field. Don't miss out. The all-out racing, big air, and backflips. And an experience you won't forget. In Monster Jam, as big as it gets, you can see it live at Lincoln Financial Field Saturday, May 4th. Tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster. Listen to Brent Porsche each day this week. Another chance to win tickets with him. What's up on the show today?
Well, more chances for money. Good Money It at noon and 3 and 5 today. Also, let's see. We've got Cool Workforce Bucks, Kiss in Lincoln Park, and Judas Priest. We've got some more celebration. Definitely get to do a double at Pearl Jam in honor of our global theatrical experience. Nick, you had the album party on Sunday, and we'll have the theater experience tonight.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard earlier, Pierre, but I ended up on Pearl Jam's social media accounts. Yeah, and so it's up on Pearl Jam's Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and it was just very bizarre but very cool to be scrolling through their accounts and see the record shop in Phoenixville and see my ugly mug, and it's a really neat thing. And they've done a lot of promotion for this record, and I got to listen to the whole thing. You'll get to hear it tonight. So I'm psyched to hear it again because I was in a store hearing it the first time around. I can't wait to hear it in headphones and in the car. But I think you're gonna have a good time tonight.
Excellent. So that'll be
One's
fun.
called Nib and Titch.
I'm going to thank our sponsors. Preston Steve Show is brought to you today by
the secret track at the end.
Duncan. And the President Steve Show runs on Duncan. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors, and by Hershey Park. Now open weekends. Plan your family fun at HersheyPark.com. Tomorrow's a Wednesday. Fox Good Day, secret text word, and Donny Osmond.
Osmond.
Wow.
Well, in fact, we were just singing his song.
Yeah, we were singing,
One Bad Apple.
One Bad Apple,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep, One Bad Apple.
We'll have to tell them about that. So that's it. We're done. Rage on. Have yourself a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.